shadows gather where the truth once stood. A kingdom of confusion carved out of falsehood. But he walks through the ruins like a prophet reborn. A voice watching fire, a mind on this dawn. The chaos watches with an all-seeing glare. Guardian of reason in a world unaware. When the overlord stalls at the edge of the frame, the faithful rise up, they already know his name. I'm here to resurrect the second coming of common sin. I come to wake the sleeping, the church will bring the fed. No idols, no illusions, no hollow interpret. He's here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Thinking truth from the wreckage, raising thought from the dead. Every word is a weapon, shot men declare. Exposing every shadow we pretend not to fear. And the overlord marches with the suffering command. A beast of judgment, the Lord will give his dead. On his growl rings through the silence of the night. The loyal understand, Trinity keeps the battle is right. I'm here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. I'm making the chaos of found to consume the world cracks open, ushering down. So read the command, don't deploy an accord. If you know what's good, feed more the overload.
All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Marty, and I am your host, Lutch, aka TheIndianJesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's party. Welcome. Who we got in the building? Shout out to Lone Wolf and Cub. We got King Nirvana and Liberty Plus TV. Liking the song. Welcome, guys. Very good to see ya. What is up? So, just to kind of put it out there, I did just get news that my grandma died like an hour ago. So, we weren't super close, so I'm fine, I'm good, but obviously, my parents are not good and all that stuff. So we're gonna, try to stick to what we're doing. But yeah, I did put up a community tab post, saying that even though I don't believe in prayer and all that stuff, if you do, my parents definitely believe in that stuff. If you'd like to leave something for them, that's up to you. But thank you very, very much, Bob. Yeah, it sucks, but, life goes on, right? Life goes on. Shout out to TV Viewerski, very much appreciative. We also got Mistful in the building. Welcome. All right, so I just wanted to put that out there, just so, if I'm a little off or, I snap at somebody, just give me a little bit of grace today. Just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. But what we are actually going to be doing is celebrating some friends. If you missed it, but wait, Rob Noerr was on the channel a few months ago, and it was a really cool conversation. He was definitely like, yeah, man, I really like this whole thing about, not closing the door to the Republican Party to atheists. And then, of course, a lot of you have seen that I had a little tit for tat with Andrew Wilson that didn't go in the best way, but I think it was still interesting. Well, both of them, as you may have seen, got to host and co-host Timcast IRL last week. Interesting conversation, interesting dude. So I figured, why not? Let's cover it and go through all of it because they're awesome and we love them, right? All right, let's dive right in. As always, guys, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know.
Anyways, Mike Lawler, right? Mr. Open Border himself, let's give it's not amnesty. Just ask yourself this. What's more offensive to the black community? I'm not black. I don't know if you can tell. But if I was, I would find it more offensive that Chuck Schumer's out there saying 71% of Democrats want voter ID, including over 50% of Democrats are blacks. And he's saying that's Jim Crow. So on one hand, we have a little harmless joke that was obviously accidental.
But it's the most...
Oh, I skipped over a little bit because I figured, they were just kind of making jokes in that. But they're talking about the reel or the tweet or whatever, where it was some video and then it scrolled to the next thing and there was Obama and Michelle, Barack Obama and Michelle as monkeys or whatever. That they're moving on to real stuff, but that's what they're talking about.
Racist.
The most racist.
But
the Democrats claiming that even black Democrats are like, sure, I don't have a problem with voter ID. That's Jim Crow 2.0 because, black people are incapable of accomplishing the Herculean task of getting an identification.
Well, of course. Don't we remember that Kathy Hochul was the one who told us that most black people don't even know what a computer is. Not just that they don't know how to use one, but that they don't know what it is. That is very racist. That is very racist. Hey, shout out to TheIndianJesus getting us started with a $10 PayPal. And of course, every donation comes with a treat for Morty. If you're over on the vertical stream, make sure you come and see it in all its goodness. Thank you so very, very much, sir. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Very much appreciated. Let's do it, sir.
Or incapable of accomplishing the Herculean task of getting an identification. It's such a joke. So I'm not going to clutch my pearls or leave people clutch pearls over some dumb story like this. Yeah. It was an accident. The real truth is that black Americans are being screwed by this government, including Democrat administrations that care more about foreigners than they do the people in their own communities. Yeah. And so this is a nice distraction for them to pretend like they care about this community. They don't care. It's the same playbook that it's been for years. Just scream racist and do nothing to help your constituents. So
that's why we love Rob. And of course, big shout out again to TV Viewerski and Amelia, right? Wait until you see the Power Rangers Double Down AI video. Is that? I have not heard of this. I have not heard of this. Is this something we could watch right now? Because that's interesting, but might be some copyright. Jason, welcome, said white liberals are the most undercover racists going. Bingo. Yep. Always. How did I work the PC today? Oh, we're here, aren't we? Welcome.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the next time we go and we do some hard ice raids and stuff, we just throw out a video like this and, people get way more upset about this and what's going on.
I want people to make AI videos of me with animal bodies. I want it. All the animal bodies with my face. Make it so how shitty to have a life where you have to be upset by one of those animals. Like, oh no, that animal you can't make me look like. Like, have fun with it, dude.
What would you want? What animal would you
First a giraffe, then an elephant. I am always perpetually.
No, the Indian Jesus is not black. I'm Indian, but gotcha.
Confused by everything you say, Ian. Really? I'm just in a perpetual state of confusion. Yes. But you're really good. You're really good at hell divers, though. So I'm really good at confusing people too. Yeah. You always want to sort of.
Fuck hell divers.
I think a lot of what because what we're up against, global international economic order, this thing will just smite you if you speak out. So I'm all about.
But isn't that, I really got to get rid of this plastic thing off the camera. But the TV saying Ian is intellectual entropy. But is that not a perfect reflection of the type of engagement you get with the level of engagement that is being put forth to Ian? Is this not a perfect microcosm for the real world? That's why I love Ian being on this show. He is necessary. He is a necessary part of this show. Doesn't mean I always like him, but he is necessary.
Converting that through comedy, through being weird, but yeah, I got your back in Hell Divers.
Like drafts.
All right, guys, let's move on to our next story. This is facing felonies. Justice Department. This comes from Fox News Politics over on X. Justice Department charged 158 Minnesota anti-ICE protesters with obstruction, assault, and FACE Act violations, crimes carrying up to 20 years in prison.
They really think this.
AG Bondi warns that more arrests are coming. Do we have a video with that?
I'm going to come.
Oh, we got this article from this as well.
Yeah. So nearly 160 people arrested for impeding assaulting federal officers in Minnesota last month. Board Czar Tom Homan said drawdown in federal agents will happen when more Minnesota counties cooperate and if people stop interfering with federal agents. Quote, if you violate the law, you will be federally prosecuted, Homan said during a press conference on Wednesday.
You know, like Americans.
Is there anything new going on here, though, really, Rob?
No, I mean, okay, it's good news that they're finally arresting some people.
Wow.
Woo! We did it. This is the Republicans in a nutshell, right? Like, I remember when Roger Stone got like 10 years for the same crime that we knew people in the FBI committed, like misleading or lying to law enforcement. And Bill Barr stepped in and was like, no, man, 2 years. And Republicans were like high-fiving each other like, we did it. And then meanwhile, it's like, well, how much did Bill Barr recommend for Andy McCabe or Comey?
Toucan. Ian would be a toucan.
They're like, we did
Don't
it.
at me.
And then meanwhile, it's like, well, how much did Bill Barr recommend for Andy McCabe or Comey? 0 years. That's constantly the Republicans like, what a victory. There are lefties that are rioting, collaborating across the country with big money donors, politicians in the Democratic Party that are encouraging them to go out every single night on the street, an insurrection, right? And we are supposed to get all excited because it's like, well, 158 people got arrested and 80 of them they're already considering prosecuting. It's so absurd. I just want you to think for a second. Imagine anywhere in this country in a red area, right, where you had some.
I mean, think about the point that he's making, how the crumbs that we're willing to eat at this point. Like, oh, some of the 1% of the 1% are getting a slap on the wrist. Oh, my goodness. This is amazing. Aren't we winning now? No.
Republicans that start paying lip service to like, well, we're against Obamacare, so we're going to stop federal authorities from coming in and doing things with Obamacare. And all of a sudden, right-wingers just start beating the shit out of like the FBI under Joe Biden or something. The Marines would have been sent in day one. And yet we have cities in this country like Seattle, Portland, now Minneapolis, where it's perpetual. Every single day. What happens is inevitably it's going to lead to a conflict with ICE, and then they get to have their martyrs and clutch their pearls.
And this is what I was saying with as soon as the Renee Good thing happened, that this is not this is not a bug; it's a feature. The people who are pulling the strings of the Renee Goods and the Alex Prettys of the world, they know that they're putting people in the position to die, and they don't care because that's good for their political message. Can anybody actually even argue with that? It's kind of sloth-like. I've only seen him standing once. What? Ian? Sloth would definitely work. I don't know about orangutan, but toucan is still the best. TVC, my bass player was talking about. Oh, I was like, what? That feels weird. Where's my watch? My bass player was talking about buying a gun and pewing 10,000 of them for every one of us. The psyop here in Minnesota is crazy. Yep, I mean, this is all going to plan. This is all going to plan. Exactly, Jason. They want more. And they will get them. Unfortunately, that is a bad thing, but they will get what they want, not what we want. We want peace, happiness, a safe border, and people who belong to be here. You know what I mean? We're not going to get that.
So I'm sorry it's not enough. It's a good start, but I want to see actual people in positions of power start to be held accountable and not just their street communists that they have on the street there.
Yeah. And, I do think it's a good move. I do think it's good news, but no, I agree. And we were talking about this earlier in the week. Like, I do think.
Super surprised at this one, Liberty. Super surprised.
Especially the MAGA base. They want to see more illegals being removed. Like, that's the goal. Like, obviously arresting the LARPers and the protesters. I mean, great start, but we want to see the illegals being escorted out.
Yeah, I mean, the promise was not even going in and starting with just normal people. I know they're still illegal aliens, but the promise was, oh, we're going to get the worst of the worst. We're going to go into the prisons. We're doing. That's really what I voted for. Now, of course, once that was done, I was like, okay, well, now we got to go into the suburbs and Home Depots and all of that. And so I'm not super happy about the way that all of this has played out. But at no point have I ever changed my mind that illegal aliens shouldn't be here. And so this idea that, oh, it looks so bad and it looks like that. Why do you care what it looks like? They're already presenting it as what you were afraid it's going to look like. You're afraid that it's going to look like, oh no, a fascist takeover. They're already calling it that. So what do we have to lose?
Well, there's a mathematical formula. I talked about this before. What they're doing, what these protesters do, is they want the stand down orders from the locals. They don't want any local PD, period. If there's no local PD, then the feds have to deal with it. And every minute that protesters are dealing with feds who aren't supposed to be doing any sort of riot patrol and aren't even trained for doing that.
Almost like that's what all of us were saying about local PD, and Renee Good, Alex Preddy would very likely be alive if they were only dealing with street cops whose main focus was to deal with people like them and de-escalate, not go after a violent criminal who doesn't belong in this country. Crazy thought, right?
The chances of an incident increases.
Exactly.
And that's what the entire plan is and has been for a long time.
I was hoping it would wake up the Dems too, but I think we're going to need, unfortunately, again, I don't want to twist it. I'm not saying I'm hoping for more people to die. I'm saying I think it will take a lot more people to die before the martyr narrative doesn't really work. And I mean, luckily, from a political standpoint, luckily, both Renee Good and Alex Preddy were seemingly legal shots. But what happens when there's a similar situation, but people aren't perfect. More people are going to die, and I think it's reasonable to think that they will get a clean martyr. If they could use George Floyd, if they could use Renee Good, if they could use Alex Preddy, it doesn't really matter much. Anybody killed by ICE, CBP, the cops, in any type of immigration thing is going to be used against it. So we may as well actually send the National Guard in and get this figured the fuck out. Yeah, agree. The feds should not be roaming the streets. That's what local PD is for. Exactly. Yeah, Jason's not saying I hope it would awaken the Dems, but it seems both parties just doubled down. Well, I don't know. Did Republicans really double down? Did Republicans really? All right. We got to send in the National Guard. We got to make sure. Or are we just like, oh, okay, well, let's have a chit chat. Diplomacy is good. But what is actually changing?
We can watch this night after night after night out in front of Portland, and we do on the Crucible all the time.
I'm gay. Do you have a problem with that? Got him!
We're watching these people out in front of Portland. They're rioting in front of the ICE station. They do it in Minnesota. They do it all over the place. And that's what the goal is. And so I think what's happening here finally is they're trying to bring some kind of charges forward so that they can try to disperse these people. But I don't think it's going to go anywhere. If you have the locals and they have a stand down order, then there's going to be federal agents who have to deal with them in front of these federal facilities. And that is inevitably going to lead to conflict with protesters. And it's going to lead to more of the shootings. It's going to lead to more of this type of violence. And there's no way around that.
It's so criminally just disgusting what the Democrats, the media, etc. are doing. The problem we have is the Republicans are incapable of winning a narrative. Like, we literally have.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay, I don't talk like that ever.
People rioting. Remember, they freaked out. Black Lives Matter happens. We see the riots. It's mostly peaceful. The media's all on board with it, right? I had been saying we were doing.
Technically, they didn't, but we're. Did this motherfucker just come into my stream and tell me to mind my own business? That's hilarious. So, Grad said babies in the womb just got human rights. So it sounds like you're talking about how it was kicked back to the states, but there's still no human right that is given to fetuses or personhood rights, and that is where we really need to go. Shout out to equality and deference because vagina over on Rumble. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you. Said, liked, and shared. I love Andrew Wilson so much. Equality, thank you so very, very much. Remember, guys, that stuff is free. It's easy. It takes 2 seconds, and it really, really does help the channel. It doesn't even matter If you think anybody is going to click on the link just by you telling the platform you want more people to see it, they will show it to more people. Welcome to the party. Let's dive back in.
Doing these debates, people like me and Andrew are doing these debates over and over again with these people.
Bro, do you know Circa Survive? Anthony Green, Seosin? I used to be able to sing those no problem. Fucking Coheed and Cambria. Good eye, sniper. I'll shoot. You run. Yeah. Just been done. What? Oh, you're talking about this. I thought you were saying personhood rights got, or fetuses got personhood rights today. I was like, God damn, how did I miss that? Shout out to Warehouse Junkie. Welcome to the party. Take on me. Take me. Oh, it's right there. It's the switch. I'll be gone in a day or two. I gotta go false start for that. But yo, I got it like that. I got it like that. Welcome. No, I still got my balls. All right. And we got Bathy Crazy. Welcome, guys. Very good to see you. Just to let you know, today is the day we are finalizing what the final tattoo poll will be. We had some drama, so I'm not putting some weird stuff on my body from some weird person who was saying stuff that I don't like. So we have to replace that option. If you know, you know. If you don't know, check out the community tab, and you can pick the next tattoo that goes on my body. Anyway, let's dive back in. Okay, so that is what you're saying. So, well, that's definitely worth a side quest. What in the hell just happened here? Okay. Someone said fetuses just gained human rights today. What are they talking about? And while we're getting that, shout out to our boy Warehouse Junkie again with the $2 making you holla. Of course, every donation coming with a treat for the Overlord. Thank you. So very much appreciated. And of course, dilly. All right. Nobody blocked you. We're just ignoring you because you're a loser. All right. So someone said fetuses just gained human rights today. People are saying every fetus in the country suddenly got human rights today in a legal sense. What's actually happening is a broader fetal personhood movement and specific laws and cases in states that increasingly treat embryos and fetuses as legal persons, as they should be. Where was it? As persons for certain purposes. Under the law, it's not a single national change that just happened today, but some recent developments have made the issue more visible and confusing. Well, damn, we, let's see what this is. All right, we'll just read the overview here. See what we got, because then we're going to do a whole thing on this. In their efforts to restrict or ban certain, this is from AC, American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, .org. So, in their efforts to restrict certain types of reproductive health care, opponents of abortion have long worked to incorporate an ideological view of personhood into different areas of the law. However, since Dobbs v. Jackson, Women's Health Organization decision overturned the protections of Roe v. Wade, the idea of personhood has been invoked in legislation directly designed to criminalize and ban reproductive health. Yeah, killing babies is non-health. But anyway, supporting legislation. All right, so I mean, they're definitely making headways, and hey, I'm about it. Good shit. So we will keep an eye on that. Thank you for the news. Who else we got? Can we start a fund to remove a tattoo? No, I mean, you can, but that shit costs thousands and thousands of dollars. So, whatever. Shout out to TTO. Welcome. No. Hey, what up? Yeah, I always put on the landscape. I always put a like one, and then I'll put a subscribe one later. And they all like to say no, but they like it anyway because I'm just that nice. All right. So good side quest on the oh man I'm pretty sure that didn't happen with this, but yeah, there was yet another trans shooter in Canada, and the news wouldn't say gunman, even though it was a male. Gun person, they said. Gun person. Crazy. All right. What are we doing here? Let's dive back in. Thank you again, Warehouse Junkie.
I had been saying we're doing these debates. People like me and Andrew are doing these debates over and over again with these people. I told them the entire summer of love. Eventually, the rules are going to change, and it's going to be the right's going to say, "Oh, we're allowed to riot. We're allowed to just do that, right?" And when it happens, the first time it happens, you people will lose your mind, and you'll say it's the biggest deal in the world. But it's predictable because once you tell one side, "Go ahead, you could riot with impunity," other side's going to do it. January 6th happens. Now, all they do is kick and scream. It was an insurrection. Kick Trump off the ballot. Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. He engaged in an insurrection because he said fight like hell. Now we're right back to where we started. By their definition, this is an insurrection on a daily basis. And not only is it occurring, the media celebrating it, the Democratic politicians are celebrating it, saying they need to go further. We have people like Don Lemon breaking into...
I mean, if you don't understand biology, maybe you would think that a child that you created is a parasite, but that's not what the word parasite means. So no. My pronouns are Colt and Glock. There you go. There you go. High and power. Jesus.
The Democratic politicians are celebrating it, saying they need to go further. We have people like Don Lemon breaking into churches. He's getting celebrated at the Grammys. AOC saying he did a great job. AOC on tape telling people how to de-arrest people, right? This is clear-cut obstruction and based on their definition, insurrection. And yet we play this game where we have to sit here and hyper-parse anytime there's a violent conflict.
Well, we got to be nice about this and make sure that we're taking the high road.
I mean, how many of us were very clear that, Renee Good should not have died? The Alex Pretty shot may be illegal, but very not good. Charlie Kirk, and they're like, oh my God, yes! Yes! Yes!
Oh, well, was the Renee Good shooting good? Oh, was the Alex Pretty shooting good? It is inevitable. You take any law enforcement agency in the world and put them hundreds upon hundreds of times in conflict with people that are against them, that are being supported at high levels, and inevitably there's going to be a violent altercation.
Equality said, if dependency equals parasitic, women are parasites too. I didn't say it. Equality said it. Shout out to Guam Tech. Welcome to the party. Said like that shit. Again, guys, so very easy and free for you guys and helps out the channel so much. Doesn't even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link just by you telling the platform you want more people to see it. They will show to more people. Thank you. And welcome to the party. Taking out the trash. The trash man. He really, I don't know how he spends that much time just like going at it with people. Like, it's impressive. It's impressive. You guys think that I'm combative, but like I get tired. This man's up early every day doing the damn thing, and then every night just debating. Like he's a monster. Shout out to Rob.
With people that are against them, that are being supported at high levels, and inevitably there's going to be a violent altercation. The left wants martyrs. Imagine being with a group in an organization that's hoping you die so they could stand on your corpse and then Photoshop you like they did Alex Pretty because you're too much of an uggo to be the martyr that they need. It's really disgusting, and I'm tired of the do-nothing Republicans incapable of winning this narrative. They fall for it every time. Well, let's go frame by frame through this shooting and see, yeah, maybe the shooting was good, maybe it was bad, but it's inevitably going to happen again and again and again until people call it out for what it is.
Yeah, and Lone Wolf is spot on. That everyone needs to stop thinking there's anything you can do to appease the left. I don't say the leftists, but generally, yes, the left. To the left, you're a Nazi. You will always be a Nazi, and there's nothing you can do to stop from being a Nazi. So trying to be on the side of, the left is going to get really upset if we send in the National Guard. They're already upset. And we're losing, and people are dying. So let's be the grown-ups and fucking fix some shit.
The left doesn't like the results of an election, so they riot. And their game is, if you vote for us, we'll stop the riots. And we should be tired of it. We should not negotiate with terrorists.
Yeah.
So they essentially, you're saying that they're causing the problem and then promising that they're going to fix the problem that they're causing, right?
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the left-wing playbook.
But I also think the base on the conservative side, they do want to see action. And this, I brought up this hypothetical earlier in the week. Those checkpoints and those barricades, they're funny. But
Yeah, who was it saying the other day? Liberals, they're just never happy unless they're mad.
You know, we talked about it last night. The locals are saying, oh, it's a safe space now. Oh, we're so happy to see these people out there. Oh, we're bringing them food. And my hypothetical is like, why hasn't anybody on the right gone out and done the same checkpoints and the same barricades? You know what I mean? And like really kind of showing them, hey, because, you know, as soon, like you're saying, right?
And I like the most basic answers. Why aren't people on the right out there doing checkpoints? It's, well, we've got things that we care about that we don't want to end up like Renee Good or Alex Preddy. But in principle, there does have to be something. There does have to be something. Like this is something that really endeared me to Tim for a much longer time than maybe it should have. And as you guys have seen, I told you I canceled my membership, you know, a while back, but I've still been very much a fan of Tim. We've covered Tim. I mean, he's not here today, but you know, it's Timcast, and he's the one who, I mean, he didn't think of this originally, but he's the one who's most recently been just pushing the culture jamming idea. It started. The first thing I remember was the billboard that he had over the ABC building, and just there. And just showing, oh, this is different. I'm struggling for some other examples. But what is a woman? Perfect culture jamming device. What is it? Am I Racist? That movie didn't quite have such a focused point. But the movie itself, we have to do something, and it has to be different than what they do because they're shitty people and they're doing shitty things. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't combat that. Yeah, we'll get thrown in jail. On this side, we'll get thrown in jail. Most people are working, paying taxes, have families. Yeah, exactly. Hey, I told him he's welcome back whenever, but, you know, he rage quit because I didn't like his design that was supposed to be a tattoo that I didn't like, but whatever. Liberty said, a lot of young right-wingers have nothing to lose. Just saying, it's coming whether you want it or not. I don't like it. Yep, and shout out to Tanya. So we also don't steal money to provide. That doesn't mean that there isn't other things that have to do with the economy, the way people spend money, whatever it is. We have to be able to push back politically, not violently, but politically. Let's say, how are you doing? Welcome. Let's dive back in.
Barricades, you know what I mean? And like really kind of showing them, hey, because, you know, as soon, like you're saying, Rob, as soon as someone did that, people lose their minds. But at the same time, you're seeing something being done.
Well, and if you're building barricades out in these streets, what are you preparing for? It's not anything good, right? Yeah. And that we saw that recently. We had protesters going out and they're building barricades preemptively. Why? So that they can get behind them after they start, you know, throwing fireworks and firebombs at police officers, which is what they do constantly. So they're preparing for another summer of love. Mm-hmm. It's happening. The fact that these protests have even been able to sustain themselves in this temperature.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that actually does look kind of good. Let's keep that there. Please let that fit. Oh, I'll be so happy if it stays there. Yes! Oh, shout out to Liberty Plus TV. Thank you, bro. That looks awesome. But what was the first thing we heard? What was the first thing we heard when, or sorry, TV. What was the first thing we heard when, there it is. What was the first thing we heard when the Renee Good stuff happened and all those protests were happening? Wow, it's awful cold. It's awful early in the year for people to start. I'm sorry. You guys are right next to each other. All right, fuck. I told you I need some grace today. The fact that we're getting the protest to this level up in Minnesota, in sub-zero, well, I don't know if it's sub-zero, but certainly sub-freezing temperatures. Summer's going to be bad.
And they use outside agitators. They bring them in. They've been bringing them in from all over the country. We were watching the Minnesota Live the day of Don Lemon going in and creating all the havoc at the church. And one of the guys who was out on the street, they're going protester to protester to protester. Hey, where are you from? None of them were from there. They're all from outside areas, and they're busting them in because, of course, people don't want to stay out there and freeze their balls off, but agitators will do that.
Yep.
And so they're just trying to keep it alive for as long as possible till the weather warms up. And that's when you start to see this thing really pop off again.
Well, what do you think? I mean, what is the solution here? Because I know Tim's gone back and forth on this. Like Trump either needs to step up or stand down.
You got it.
I saw 46 degrees today, and I was like, yes! Anything under 70 degrees is cold to me. Anything under 70 degrees is cold to me. But I woke up and saw 46 degrees, and I was like, yes, I don't need my my shiesty. Is that the actual name? Like, what do you call those things that, like, it's like the hood with just the eye thing that only would ever be the most shady burglar mask until everybody just started wearing them?
Dude, look, you got to send in the stormtroopers.
Yep.
That's it. You have to send in the stormtroopers. You got to play the Imperial March while they're coming in, and they got to bring in some orders, and they got to put them under the boot, because if your local police is
I'll take a Bitcoin for it. My thoughts on anything.
basically being told to stand down, and that's what's happening. Where the hell are they? I watched him take a guy. There was a guy who was out there, and he had his bullhorn, and he was just saying, and a crowd swarmed him. They beat him all the way back to his car. It was insanity. It was insanity. Never seen anything like it. Not a cop in sight. Where the hell are they? Well, the local governments are telling them to stand down.
Yep.
I wish I could say this, equality, because I do have an actual point, but I'll clean it up. Because, Rumble, if you want to go crazy and you're worried about that YouTube censorship, head on over to Rumble. Equality said, is it because black people don't like the cold? Hold on a minute. Which black people are we talking about? The only protesters I've seen are middle to older aged white women. I haven't seen any black people, any Latino people, anything in any meaningful number. I haven't seen men in any meaningful number. It is millennial and Gen X, liberal, white women. It's crazy. It is crazy. Shout out to Hector. Thank you. So very, very much for the $1 make you holla. And of course, a treat for Morty. Thank you, sir. Very much appreciated. I'm just gonna, whichever way it goes, I'm gonna call that a dollar. So it goes in my direction, then awesome. It goes in your direction, word up. This is the stupidest fucking chat in the world. There's one situation where Celsius is better, and that is cooking. In terms of how does it feel outside? Celsius is the absolute worst. Fahrenheit is specifically perfect for that. 0 is as cold as you ever want it to be. 100 is as hot as you want it to be. It's 100% hot. It's just too easy. Shout out to Box in the building. Welcome. Very good to see you. So that was the first night in a while that when I got out on TYT, you were not in my refresh. They hating. You know they're hating. So make sure you hit that like. And again, guys, every time you share the video, it really does tell YouTube, oh, fuck, we can make more money off this bitch. Gomnick said, I came to a realization recently. The left always brings up J6 because, try as they might, they will never be able to get half as much done with 10 times the number of their protests. Facts, bruh. Seriously, leftists and hipsters. Yeah, that's who we're seeing out there. So I don't know exactly. Attack of the Karen clones. I don't know what black people were talking about. I don't know what black people are talking about. Yeah, right. 32 Fahrenheit is freezing for water. So if you're cooking something, then you need to know the boiling and freezing points. But why do I care about road water? I know if it's cold for me, then it's going to be, like, again, it's not that the numbers change. So like the temperature is the same. It's just how we measure it. And there's no way that you will ever convince me that a larger scale is going to be less specific than a smaller scale. That's just not how numbers work, homie. Anyway, what? Anyway, okay.
Where the hell are they?
Yeah, right.
Well, the local governments are telling them to stand down.
Yep.
That's what's going on. They're keeping them away from enforcing anything that's going on with these protests. The whole point of that is so that then federal agents, they themselves have to protect the federal buildings which are being surrounded. These protesters, what they do is they march through the streets, and where do they always end? In front of the federal building. National Guard units and things like this are usually dispatched in order to guard those federal buildings. And so that's what's going on. They're trying to increase the likelihood of incident between them and federal officers. They can point to them and say, they're Nazi fascists and look at what they're doing to us.
Right.
What would be the difference at this point if you sent in the stormtroopers here in order to guard these buildings?
Exactly. Nothing changes in terms of their rhetoric and how much they think you're an evil racist, this, that, whatever. They're going to think that anyway.
What are they going to do? Call you a Nazi and a fascist?
No.
Again?
It's the same thing twice.
No, but what it is the conservatives and the libertarians get very squishy. And I heard all week about optics and how bad optics are. And
I'm
care
tired
about
of
optics.
fucking libertarians. I'm tired of them.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. But it's like,
I've had enough. Like, look, the thing is your way doesn't work. It doesn't work.
True.
And we need to send them in. We need to send in first of all, federalize the National Guard, send them to each one of these ICE locations. And I mean, bolster them.
Yep.
Bolster them significantly. I want armor on the ground.
All right, landscapers, we got a new poll. This was the talk of the town today. I haven't really caught up with much. I'm like maybe like a day and a half behind with stuff. But I definitely saw this, and I've been saying since the very beginning that Epstein was alive. What do you guys think?
I want armor in front of those ICE facilities. I don't want them anywhere near it. Make them destroy their cities. Make them destroy their cities where the police have the stand down order, where they're rioting, looting, they're wrecking their own shops, they're wrecking their own markets. That's when you'll see a public outcry. But as long as
See, where's an emoji? We need an emoji for this kind of shit. Come on, emojify this for the fucking show. Let's go.
Federal law enforcement are
It's got to be one that shows up on stream.
continuously having to sweep this up, we have a massive problem. And that problem is that they're going to use a light touch. Eventually, you're going to have an incident. That's when they point and say Nazi fascist stormtrooper.
Yeah, but the message has to be it's going to be ugly, and we have to get used to the fact that it's going to be ugly because the left wants it to be ugly.
That's right. You have to win the PR battle. You have to be aggressive, and you have to win the PR battle. January 6th, how many law enforcement officers died? Right? What was it, like 4 or 5, right?
Yeah.
That's the narrative they beat in our head. Actually, not true. None did that day.
Right.
But that's the narrative. You want to know why? Well, a lot of officers unalived themselves months later. That's how great they were at propaganda. They were able to push that narrative. I wonder how many ICE officers may self-harm, seeing as how they can't even be at a hotel without these people rioting and trying to take
They don't care.
it over. And yet, where are the Republicans? Where's the Trump administration telling their story? We had an ICE officer with his finger bit off the day Alex Preddy was shot. It was out of the news in 20 minutes. The Trump administration should be out there daily. Every time they do a press conference, they should have a big screen behind them, just showing the violent left rioting, 24/7, just playing. Every time they take a question from anyone in the mainstream media. And before we get to that question, here's another example of the violent left attacking law enforcement officers again, over and over. This was true in Trump term 1, too. Remember when they attacked ICE facilities and they would take down the American flag and fly the Mexican flag? These are people that are funded by big interests that want mass migration and hate the people of this country. And the Trump administration needs to push it, because I'll tell you this much, ain't going to be the feckless Republicans, many of which allowed this immigration crisis to get out of control in the first time. So they're sitting back. That's the big, well, why don't they end the filibuster to pass some of this stuff? You want to know the dirty little secret? Because enough people in the Senate, the Republicans, don't want Trump's agenda. And that's why it's left to Trump to go out there and say what you will about him. I think he could be doing a better job. But it's all...
Oh, yeah, he could definitely be doing a better job. Does anybody actually think that Trump could not be doing it better? He's doing as well as we could ever want a president to do. Yeah, does anybody feel that way?
Secret, because enough people in the Senate, the Republicans, don't want Trump's agenda. And that's why it's left to Trump to go out there and say what you will about him. I think he could be doing a better job. But it's all on him and his administration to win the PR war and to make all the perfect moves. And
how is he an extremist? Interesting. I find him very passionate, but not very moderate, but relatively moderate. I mean, he literally came on this show and was talking about how he likes, what we're doing and that we should be a part of not only the larger political movement, but the Crucible as well.
As soon as something happens like the Alex Preddy situation, all of a sudden the Republicans come out of the woodwork. Well, we don't like this. Maybe it's time to have the Dignity Act. Maybe it's time. Because that's what they want. They're sellouts.
Hopefully in Mexico.
That want this mass migration to continue.
How about a little compromise?
It's ridiculous.
Right. You can't compromise with terrorists.
Well, let's watch the video of the charges here before we move into Caroline Levitt.
Oh, is it muted?
Yeah, I think you're muted.
Whistles and chants of ICE out. As federal.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so the quality was right, but they're not black. They're Somali.
Whistles and chants of ICE out. As federal agents conducted operations in St. Cloud.
Well, remember, for a lot of people, extremist just means loud at saying things that I don't like. I'm not saying that about Bach specifically, but that's a common thing.
Back on January 12th. That same day, officers made an arrest, detailed in this court document. Prosecutors accused Timothy Catlett of giving an officer the middle finger. When the officers tried to leave, they say Catlett pounded on the hood and kicked the side door of their car. The Department of Homeland Security posted his photo on social media, calling him an agitator, and then Thursday filed to dismiss its own case. Davis Redmond is among the 8 others whose photo was posted online by DHS. Prosecutors accuse Redmond of driving aggressively while following Border Patrol agents before he suddenly accelerates his car, colliding with the black GMC driven by Border Patrol.
Okay, but did it actually hit the car? Do we know if contact was made? Is there video or photo evidence of contact made? I'm making fun of people who are saying that Renee Good didn't hit the cop.
Redmond's attorney called the charges bogus and the decision to bring the case outrageous, saying the charges were downgraded on Thursday to a misdemeanor. In a separate case, prosecutors say this federal agent was shoved and punched in the face. Brittany Stallings is accused of assaulting him. And
they'd be like, well, good, because he's... No principles, just positions. They're bad because they're masking up. They're going where they're going where they're not wanted, according to the protesters. They're checking papers, and they are allowed to use force. So how do they deal with this? They go out in the streets, they stop people and look at their papers in masks and expect not to have to deal with the exact force that they... I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, Hector, I forgot to edge the banner bat. Let me do that right meow, sir.
Agent was shoved and punched in the face. Brittany Stallings is accused of assaulting him. Border Czar Tom Homan said in the last month, 158 people have been arrested, accused of impeding officers. It's unclear if that number includes cases like Matt Allen, better known as Twin Cities rapper Noerr D. Our cameras captured the arrest the day Alex Preddy was shot.
I was being grabbed by somebody. And so I began to run. And when I was thrown to the ground,
he was not running. Okay.
I was told that I was under arrest for assaulting a federal officer. That's what I was told.
Noerr D claims he did nothing wrong and told WCCO his attorneys plan to pursue legal action against DHS, ICE, and Border Patrol.
That dude was not running anywhere.
We did reach out to the attorneys of multiple people DHS posted online and have not heard back from all of them yet. We'll let you know.
Yeah, please do. Thanks.
Noerr D.
That's a great example of like how.
Fox. You know that's not what we were talking about. And so if you're going to put that out there while we're talking about something specific, when you mean something different, it's your responsibility to be like, not in this situation, but I don't like Rob because he's a religious extremist. I don't think that's the case. But he has, like, the implication is that you're saying he's being extreme about the things that we're actually talking about. Shout out to Booktoy. Welcome to the party. We also got Blueberry Street. Very good to see ya, ladies and gentlemen. Let's dive right back in. The best ways or the worst ways? I kind of like it.
Please do. Thanks.
Noerr D.
That's a great example of like how they're using this for clout too. They're going out there now. This guy, he's going to sell some albums. Fat Albert, whatever his name was, like he's going to go out there and sell some albums and stuff off this. But Tim brings his point. Yeah, Tim brings his point up all the time. They literally think it's a game. They literally think they're going out there and the police have fake bullets.
Is that not? How many times have you heard me say that? How many times have you heard me say they literally think it's a game? Why are you using real bullets? Because it's not a fucking game.
And
some of them do. A lot of the foot soldiers do think it's a LARPing game. But the reason I don't advocate for setting up the stormtroopers, I'm real concerned, is because in the rules for radicals, when you read about a radical attempt at a communist takeover, you want to get your enemy to do the mistake. They're trying to.
Why do you sub to an extremist?
Lull the federal government into becoming the fascists that they're telling them they are. And they're like, if the government cracks down and becomes deadly fascist, then the communists will say, see, we told you all along, now rally to our cause and let's...
They're already doing that, Ian. That's the point. They're already doing that.
Overthrow this government. So like the government has to not snap, but at the same time, pick up criminals and arrest criminals without becoming the brutes that
so what's your
saying they are.
What's your solution then, Ian?
Just be nicer. Just be nicer. He goes strawberry. Is that a comment on his shirt or his brain?
It's not acute. I don't think there's like one day it's going to be fixed.
So just keep letting it happen.
This is the same. It's the same mistake Trump made in the summer of love. This is exactly. You're right. This is the game they were setting up. The argument going into 2020 is Trump's a fascist. So they.
I don't like how you've done this, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
You're right. This is the game they were setting up. The argument going into 2020 is Trump's a fascist. So they kept setting the dominoes. We'll have places like Kenosha. We'll stand down. We'll just tell the cops to stand down. We'll do it in New York City. We'll do it in Atlanta. We'll do it in Portland. We'll do it in the Chad Zone. And then we'll wait for Trump to send in the National Guard and then say, see, he's a fascist. The problem is Trump should have sent in the National Guard. Because at some point, if you're like, well, we're worried that if we do this, they'll use this to weaponize and make us look like the bad guys. Okay, then the alternative is don't do it. Leave them call you the bad guys anyways and get away with this with impunity. What they should have been doing when this started in LA, this is what I would have done. Declare the Insurrection Act or send in the National Guard, whatever the courts allow you, which is a joke in its own right. And
yeah, right. Politics on my conservative side wants law and order. My libertarian side doesn't want the stormtroopers sent in. My lefty side says socialism will be great in 200 years. And I mean, I get where you're coming from, but I think the law and order part is necessary. So what do we need in order to get to that place? That's really the question. And so if you're talking about, I don't want the stormtroopers sent in because of the notion of stormtroopers, well, okay, why? Just because it's like the stormtroopers, or is it just like, and then the lefty side, I mean, sure, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that is super relevant, right? To hear all this, no. To be fair to Box was saying that Rob is an extremist, but he is subbed. And I asked, I was more tongue in cheek, like, how dare you? But you? Fair enough. There was a long, I like to keep up with what the lefties are saying. I can't watch them directly, but I watch more Pegasus every day, and I can't help it. So good. Speak for yourself. I've never seen any Star Wars. Been waiting for a movie night, and you guys have yet to set it up. So, still never seen it. Ooh, interesting. TV said, I think socialism would work as long as everyone has pew-pews. I think we put that to a poll. The current poll of is Epstein alive? 78% of you said yes. God damn. All right, let's see what you guys say about socialism with guns.
Declare the Insurrection Act or send in the National Guard, whatever the courts allow you, which is a joke in its own right. And then go out during the day, go to your Home Depot, go everywhere. Arrive every time they riot, get 5 times more illegal the next day. Send 5 times more Border Patrol. And then at night, take them all back to the federal buildings, protect the federal building, and let them burn. Let them burn down the city. Go ahead. You go burn down LA. Leave the LAPD deal with it. We're just going to protect our little area. You guys, you come in our area, we're going to throw the book at you. We're going to arrest you and throw the book. But you go ahead, go loot. Go for it. We don't care. Do it every day. Until finally they're like, and then you have to win the PR war as well. I agree with that portion of it. But we cannot allow the left to be like, well, we're allowed to just riot and do whatever we want with impunity if we don't win, knowing that if you guys try to crack down, we'll say, oh my goodness, you're the communist fascists. Meanwhile, when you guys lose, we'll go after your lawyers. We'll go after everyone connected to Trump. We'll go after you for mortgage claims. We'll have sedition hunters that we now know the government was paying to watch all these videos on YouTube to go after blue-haired grandmas. They'll throw around their weight, and no one calls the media, no one's calling them fascist or anything like that.
Yes, Box, because the boot is doing what we asked for. They're not like going outside of what they were specifically asked to do. So like, what do you mean roll over? We voted for this to happen. Quality said, if it works, it ain't socialism. Lomo said socialism will work. Absolutely. Just not in real life. It's never worked in real life. Unless, of course, that wasn't real socialism. Yeah, that's what they always say. Always.
They'll throw around their weight and no one calls the media, no one's calling them fascist or anything like that. So I'm tired of it. Like, maybe you're right, Ian. Maybe it ends up worse. I don't care, though. The status quo is just me getting trampled on over and over again, while the people that lose get to use violence whenever they want. I can't accept it.
Well, what does he have to lose? What does Trump have to lose? So if the Democrats sweep in the midterms, and they very well may, they're going to impeach him again. He'll be the thrice impeached president, and that will be the legacy of his entire administration. Will be that he's battling a third impeachment. Right? That's what it's going to be. So, what does Trump have to lose at this point by fighting back a little bit?
Absolutely nothing. Except, well, nothing to lose, but he can definitely gain some support back from his base, who doesn't really like this half measure of like, all right, we're going to send ICE out there, but they don't really have the resources they need, and there's people out there doing their own thing, and it's fucking shit up, and this ain't working. This ain't working.
By sending in the federal troops, how's that going to defame him more or hurt him more than if he doesn't?
It might not harm his career to send him in, but I'm concerned for just the statute or what it would set as a precedent for a president just to unilaterally send National Guard into cities against the will of the governor.
You mean like they've done plenty of times before when we were in serious issues that the local government wasn't being cooperating with the federal government? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Folks with the big $5. Thank you, sir. And of course, a treat for Morty, if he ever takes it. Come on, man, I can't reach any further. There we go. Thank you. Like I said, a police state is all fun and games till the political winds shift. In my opinion, it's icky no matter who does it. That's why we have 2A. But then what you're saying, Box, is that, okay, we don't want the federal government to come in and calm things down. So you also want more people taking up arms and getting into the street and fighting the government doing what it was voted to do. You are literally asking for an armed rebellion. Armed rebellions are all fun and games till the political winds shift. The logical end to what you're saying here is that it's just going to get worse and worse and worse, and everybody is going to be arm up, and it will be a hot conflict between civilians and ICE and CBP and etc. Is that what you want, Box? I don't think it is. Hopefully not. I mean, Davidson, where's the criticism for the previous administration? I mean, we've been talking about how they fuck shit up all the live long day for the last couple of years. So, I mean, if you don't think that the previous administration was bad, if you need to be told, then goddamn, you've been living under a rock. Not you personally, but I'm saying if somebody needs to hear, wait, Biden was doing bad, then you're probably not paying too close attention. But thank you, sir. Let's dive back in. So hold on, wait. I don't like this argument in general because, yes, just like the American Revolution, there is a point at which it is justified for the people to take up arms in a hot conflict against the government. There is a situation where that is okay. That was the last horseradish debate I did. The 2A doesn't really mean anything if we can't use it when it's needed. The question is it needed? Because, again, you think a police state is bad, a hot conflict, a hot civil war with the people and the government is going to be worse. That being said, if it does get to that point, then yeah, there's a lot more of us than there are of them. And so a bunch of us are going to get blown to shit. But if people actually came together, just like they did in the revolution, you might just win.
It's a precedent for a president just to unilaterally send National Guard into cities against the will of the governor.
I mean, they've already done that, though. They did that during the civil rights, right?
Yeah, me too, Box. I want just a magical world where nothing's going wrong, too. We would all like that. But
when they wanted to make sure that that little black kids could go to school, the president, he federalized the National Guard. And that was against the will of the governor. So there is precedent for it. That's one. And two, the situation dictates at this point, if you have local governors, local mayors, and local Democrats who refuse to enforce local law, and they're allowing the federal buildings to get surrounded.
Based ass movie.
How do you deal with that except to reinforce the federal buildings? Like, I don't even see how you do it any other way.
Well, and the other thing I keep hearing is PR battle, PR battle, PR battle. And like what we keep forgetting is the base wants Trump, the MAGA base wishes Trump was 10% of the authoritarian that the left says he is.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Obviously, to the liberals, what you wanted that? No, What we're saying is you're claiming he does X, Y, and Z, therefore he's authoritarian, but he's not doing any of those things. But maybe a little bit would have been good.
To what you're saying, Rob.
I do.
Exactly. To what you're saying, Rob, like they win the PR battle by putting the boot down. Like we keep worrying about what the other side and what people that, don't really matter think. It's like the PR battle is won when he goes out there and he, puts the boot down and stops this.
No. That's his base. That's his relations with his base. That's irrelevant.
Yeah. We won the popular vote. What do you think this is?
The public relations is everybody. That's
polling.
Well, are you going to change the leftist mind at this point?
Right.
They're going to believe that he's a fascist no matter what. Right. They're all playing for this small block of the undecideds, of which I don't even think there's that many of them anymore. And what's happening right now is people want action. They're sick of seeing these lunatics on the street doing this day in and day out. They don't understand why the government is so hamstrung. And it's due largely in part to the advice that they're given, especially through the libertarian arm, telling them, look, optics. We're past optics on this.
Yep.
We're way past optics on this. And
what's BO?
By the way, they're winning the optics war through the inaction. So there needs to be action. And Trump has nothing to lose, and we have nothing to lose by rolling it all here on red.
Oops, maybe you should listen to what I said about that before you assume. It's almost like you're in a cult.
Another outcome that could be bad is if they are like, in order to collect these 20 million illegal immigrants, we need to set up our spy tech network through Palantir. We need to start using satellites to read your biometric data through walls with radio telescopes. We're going to be spying on you while you sleep. We're going to read your DNA from a distance. No more Fourth Amendment, but it's for your safety. We have to get rid of these illegals. It's so important, isn't it?
And this is disingenuous because this is making a false slippery slope argument that, well, if we use the National Guard in the exact way that it was meant to be used, then Neuralink Hitler. Like, what? Come on, bro.
And bow down like that. I don't want that.
But no one said anything about that. We're talking about sending people on the ground to get the violent leftist and stop ruining businesses.
And can't we have a happy medium of like, you just have to show your ID to vote?
Yeah.
And not, you have to give up.
Take a guess. Am I a man or a woman, baby? I just don't know if you know.
Biometric fingerprint data.
Oh.
I feel like the libertarians constantly do this. They're constantly pushing this idea that it's either 1984 George Orwell, right, or no law and order whatsoever. And it's like, no, we can have reasonable laws. The idea that you need to show ID to vote, the idea that you need to follow some basic laws of the land, I think is fine. And I don't think.
Who's he running against? If he's running against Kamal again, then fuck yeah. If he's running against multitude of other people, I don't know. We would have to compare those two people. Oh, well, thank you. No, I'm not trans. I am a real man. I'm a real man, baby.
It's you need to follow some basic laws of the land. I think is fine, and I don't think that that's crossing any Rubicons. I don't think that that's your dishwasher.
Yeah, voting was around long before ID, but guess what wasn't around long before ID? Millions of fucking illegals!
I don't think people are supporting your dishwasher spying on you and your cell phone spying on you and your computer spying on you and biometric hacking. They don't want any of that, but they do want illegals to not be able to vote in our elections. They do want to make sure that illegals can't get public welfare by just petitioning for it with no ID, no nothing. Why can't we have some
community, Box? Community. Because you went into your church or a town hall or whatever, and people knew you. That's what happens when you are 13 colonies, when you slowly advance, when there's not that many people. I don't even need to make the low expectation of blacks argument. What does that even have to do? Oh, you're saying that. Okay. You're just saying that you're not pulling a Kathy Hochul. But do you not understand that? Number one, there was a lot less people, and there was a lot more community. Right, Box? Or no? Am I wrong about that?
With by just petitioning for it with no ID, no nothing. Why can't we have some happy medium here? I don't even feel like that's a medium. I feel like that's just the mean.
And
right?
I agree with you,
Box. Again. My goodness, thank you, sir. Wait, $5. I think that makes you the new co-sponsor of the stream. Indeed. Thank you. Sir said I've never shown ID to vote. If you are not registered to vote, you can't. That's where ID happens, not at the poll. Wrong. I was able to do all of that in New Jersey without ever showing an ID. That I mean, you can say that I'm lying. I would hope by now you would know me well enough that I would just be like, oh, okay, whatever, if I didn't have. But no, I voted for that haram. I voted for that evil woman without ever having to show anyone any ID. I had to show proof of like mail or something, but you could just take somebody's mail. You could just find mail on the streets if you. I mean, and because it doesn't have to be me. I just need a citizen's mail, so I can just go in any mailbox and be like, "See, this is me." So no, that's bad. Nope. Well, yes, correct, absolutely. ID is meant to slow down voting to make sure that we do it right. So again, the question is, do you disagree that when we had, before we had to show ID, that there was less people and more community? Yes or no?
I don't even feel like that's a medium. I feel like that's just the mean.
And
right?
I agree with you, right? I don't want that either. There's still a little remnants of like the libertarian adjacent in me, so I don't want that. Problem is, isn't it interesting?
You said he was a libertarian. I'm going to go by his own words.
A little remnants of like the libertarian adjacent in me, so I don't want that. Problem is, isn't it interesting how we always come up with this when it comes to doing the things that the American people want or people like me want, right? So when Obama's in office, like, no problem, Patriot Act, George Bush, no problem, Patriot Act, Fourth Amendment shredded, no problem at all. But when it comes to like keeping our...
Even I wasn't paying attention till Trump came down the fucking escalator. And even I was like, whoa, the Patriot Act? I don't know about all that.
Country secure from illegal immigrants. Now all of a sudden, well, there's privacy concerns. Under the last administration, I had to listen to the left tell me over and over that I needed to have a vaccine card to go out and do anything. They needed to see everything about my medical history. They needed to be able to look into my banking information if I ever went to like, a January 6th rally or anything like that.
Is that okay, Box? Is that okay, Box? Shout out to Bolt Metal Chad. Welcome. Said Minnesota, a councilman straight up said illegals can vote when they get their driver's license. Yep. You should need ID to vote. Some states you do. Lummel said if you're not registered to vote, how do they know who to check to see if you're registered to vote? I don't know. The ledge needs a cat of 9 tails handy. Funny mention. What is that? I've never even heard of that. What is that? I think. Well, I mean, now we got a side quest. I'm gonna search it here because I don't know what the fuck it is. Where are you? Cat of. Oh, the cat of 9 tails is historically a significant molting-tailed whip, whoopsh, primarily for severe corporal punishment. Well, you guys can vote for the Hillary has a dick tattoo to go right here or right here, depending on the space. So should we talk about that now? All right, let's talk about that now. So, what I have decided with the tattoo. Since we had a little mix-up, I want to keep all the other designs up, and you guys voted to keep those 3 and add a new one. So, starting now, and 99 cents for a suggestion, and then we will vote on all of the suggestions in a poll here so that you guys get to actually pick. 99 cents is all it takes. Get your idea. And when I do the poll, I'm going to do it a little bit differently and not put any pictures there because I think that messed with people. So it's the concept. It's a concept. Should we do that? Yeah. Let's try that. So yeah, if you're not familiar, we did a stream goal where if we hit the goal, you guys get to pick my next tattoo, where I put up a community tab and everybody could make a bunch of suggestions, and then I would pick my 4 favorites, and we would do a poll, and whichever one won, I would get that tattooed. But then there was some drama, and I allowed one of the members at the higher level to pick one of the 4 options, and that option got picked, but then he cried like a little bitch, so I'm not putting that on my body. So we have to redo it. So here, let me show you what we had as the original ones. Where we at? So this was the original poll. So we're keeping the Trump dilly dilly. This has got some, the Trump hair, and it's orange up here. This is the one that won, but we had some drama. We have Trump as a Hindu god, and Hillary Clinton has a dick. So if you maybe want to say Michelle Obama, Big Mike, something like that. Whatever you guys suggest, we'll put 2 polls, and whatever you guys choose, I will put on my body. Let's fucking go. Where are you guys at? No. Buck said, I don't agree with that, councilman. But that means if you just need ID to vote, then we give you an ID, then illegals can still vote. You need a voter registry. Yeah, but the point of the ID is supposed to be that registry. It's supposed to check with that registry. That's the point. No, not necessarily. It's just, funny because I'm very ashamed for voting for her. And I mean, that's a good punishment to have that tattooed on my body forever. No, I'm tatted up, baby. I'm tatted up. And I own a laser tattoo removal. So worst case scenario. It's not cheap, but I can make it work. Do we need this? We don't need this. I'll keep this open here. Let's see. So 99 cents for a suggestion that can go on my body forever. And it'll be in frame. So every time you see me, it'll be right there. So there we go. That's what I'm saying. There's some good ideas. Drop your 99 cents. We was kangs and shit. I'm down, guys. I'm down. But we got to get that 99 cents.
To look into my banking information if I ever went to a January 6th rally or anything like that. But now all of a sudden those people are like, well, you're a bootlicker and you're invading people's privacy. If you want to be able to make sure that people are legal or else we kick them out, that's too far. So I'm sorry, at some point this game begins exhausting, where the one side plays for keeps and they're like, we'll be the most authoritarian. We'll start a disinformation board to censor. We'll collaborate with Twitter, trying to censor people off social media. But as soon as you're like, hey, can we have an ID to vote? Can we kick out illegals? Well, now there's privacy concerns. I'm just sorry. I think that it's right that we should focus on making sure things don't go too far. But the problem is so bad the other way right now. We have to start making inroads and hopefully cooler heads prevail and we make sure it doesn't go too far. But at this point, I'm all for deportations, deport them all, and I'm all for voter ID. And
getting some great ideas, guys. I'd love to see some of this on my body.
I don't have privacy concerns about either of those.
And we can't fool ourselves into thinking the government can't get into our devices. I mean, Facebook knows when you have to take a shit. I mean, come on. Yeah, all the stuff you have on that phone in front of you knows exactly what you're doing at all.
Yeah, but you guys are keeping your privacy by not downloading TikTok.
All time.
24/7, it's recording you. I mean, that's why when you say, okay, device name, it turns on because it's listening to you the whole time.
Exactly.
I was all about sending in the National Guard in 2020, day one of that riot. I walked downstairs. I was working with Tim Pool at the time. I walked down. I was like, bro, where's the National Guard? And he was like, I don't know.
Jersey, born and raised.
And then 3 days went by, and I'm like, where's the fucking National Guard? It was, but the problem is that was a riot, an acute issue that could be dealt with. This pulling people out of their houses and evicting, getting illegal immigrants out of here.
Hold on, Ian. That's not what we're talking about the National Guard for. We already have ICE and CBP doing that. We want the National Guard to make sure that they are able to do that because the fucking local PD is standing down. I have not. Drop it in the Discord. And remember, I don't know how that might be copyrighted, but $5 for a side quest.
Issue that can be tamped down overnight or in 4 days with National Guard. It's like a chronic situation that could take 7 years. So I don't want National Guard flooding city streets.
But it's not
if you guys don't put anything, I'm just going to pick one. So up to you guys. We got one from Guantag. Said Mecha? I don't know what this means, but this counts as a $2, so you can definitely explain it better in but Mecha JD. I think. Oh, where are we? There we go for the puppy. I think it's supposed to obviously be JD Vance. Mecha, I know you do voice to text, so I'm thinking JD Vance in fucking Muslim shit. I don't know, but this is our first one. We'll see what he means.
Could take 7 years, so I don't want National Guard flooding city streets.
But it's not the National Guard pulling people out of houses. The reason the National Guard's necessary is because people like Minneapolis won't cooperate with ICE, and then they have their people on the street attacking the actual Border Patrol and ICE people. That's why you need the Guard to protect them. because the local police stand down. You remember there was actual audio that
He's driving.
have from the police in Chicago. This is months ago, where they're like, yeah, we're dispatching officers to this scene. ICE agents say that they're being rammed by a car. And then the officer comes back. It's like, we were told to back down, to not send that. And you could tell the officer in the line's like, really?
Well, we had reports of ICE agents saying that they called out to federal officers for help and they weren't getting it. There was an incident where they were in a hotel room and they called out for help. They couldn't get any help there either. So yeah, you can't prove definitively that they're stand down orders, but it sure seems like they're stand down orders, right? It sure looks like they're stand down orders.
Did you see the clip the other day of it was at the hotel where ICE was supposedly staying? And there's this like badass footage of this like one officer that's holding the fort. He ends up like someone throws a brick or something. And he's covered in blood. Yeah. And like I saw that clip. You know how it is on X, you just scroll through and sometimes you don't listen to the audio. I clicked on the one audio and the guy's yelling. This is like, he wasn't even ICE. He was like some like security guy. And he's like, where?
Oh, it's an anime thing. An anime thing. Oh, God. Oh, God. A big robot JD Vance, preferably the fat version. All right, guys. That is our first option. That is our first option that you guys get to vote on. You guys get to vote on. So it's Mecha JD Vance. Fat. All right. All right. That's where we're starting.
Where are the local police? Where are they? There is a violent mob attacking me, trying to break into this building. And then there's a clip of the cop starts coming. And what do? Turn right around.
Yeah.
And at some point, that's what's going on. And this is why it's so risky.
You watch the cops high five him in Portland.
Right.
It's so bad.
I mean, and like you can see footage after footage. You see people like Nick Sorter and others that are going out to
Cam
these rights.
Hippie's another one out there all the time.
All right, TV, since you're a co-sponsor, you and Box, since you guys, before I set this down, you already sponsored. I will give each of you one free choice. So it doesn't have to be this. You can wait. You can put out a bunch of ideas and wait till the end if you want. So we have Mecha JD Vance, and then our sponsors. Now, if somebody else sponsors you guys, then they get the choice. But as of now, you each get one that's going to go on the poll. So let's see.
And they get the shit beat out of them, right? And the local police, what was the woman, the one woman, this was a couple months ago, she gets smacked in the face with like a flag, right? And she follows the woman that hit her, and she gets a cop, and it's like, here, right here. And the cop talks to her, and she starts screeching, I'm underage, let me on. And the cop just lets her go.
Yeah.
And it's like, at some point, if
is she though?
Law enforcement doesn't act, here's what's going to happen. And I predicted this before Rittenhouse. What happens is, if you say, listen, here's the deal, the left gets to riot with impunity, local police stand down, and
some good numbers. I was getting like 10 a pill.
We don't want the feds to go in and do it.
Quad stacks, though.
People are going to take matters into their own hand. They're going to say, okay, we're going to see roof Koreans. You're going to see people that are like, that's it. We're not going to be intimidated. So we'll take to the streets ourselves. Now you got a real problem. Now all of a sudden, it's like we got a situation where a group of pro-ICE people are going to be like, then we'll go out in the streets and we'll stop them. And unfortunately,
people are going to die. Again. Guam. A Muscle Beach Ron Paul. I like that one. I like it a lot. So again, am I talking about this? Or is this to me, or what are we talking about? Box said, I like the dilly without the Trump hair, or Sisyphus on a Mobius strip. The problem was, all right, let's fucking do it. The problem was, actually, let me update this first, because I'm going to forget. So we are now at 6 out of 15 for the push-up goal, and 22 out of 75. Of course, that gets Morty an extra treat. We've got his very special stuff, and of course, every $2 is another push-up that I've got to do. Thank you. So again, let me know, sponsors, let me know what you are thinking, and you feel free to just put stuff out there, but before you leave or before you get out sponsored, you got to make that pick. So if you make the pick and somebody else out sponsors you, the pick still counts. Fair? I think that's fair.
Pro-ICE people are going to be like, then we'll go out in the streets and we'll stop them. And unfortunately, from that perspective, because the left has won the culture war for so long, the right can't get away with that. they'll bring the hammer down on the right as soon as you try to do that. So we're in this weird position where the best case scenario, I think, even from a libertarian perspective, is to say law enforcement must step in right now. And if the local law enforcement's unwilling to do it, then the next best thing is to declare the Insurrection Act and protect our ICE officers.
The tattoo. Did you walk away? So again, really quick, we had this poll that was going up, and this one won. But some of the person who picked that design said some things that they can't take back. So I'm just not putting that on my body. So you guys voted to redo the poll and just replace this option. So we are looking to just get any type of funny tattoo that has to do with politics or the community or TIJ or anything like that. And so far, we've got Muscle Beach Ron Paul or Robot JD Vance. And $2 for a suggestion. We're going to put all of those to a poll at the end of the stream. And sponsors get an extra free pick. A free pick. So any idea that you like. Put it up there.
It's unwilling to do it, then the next best thing is to declare the Insurrection Act and protect our ICE officers. If you don't like the deportations, then go vote. But right now we voted. And by the way, also to your point and the PR point, consistently, Trump polls lower than his right-wing positions. So in other words, mass deportations are more popular than Trump right now. And so I think Trump's team's telling him, like, well, we have to back off from some of this because, we're going to lose the midterms. I think the truth's the opposite.
Yeah.
Well, again, if you guys, because you guys have the sponsorship already, TV and box, if you just want to throw out ideas and then later go through your ideas and be like, actually, I like this one. You can do that. So Box said, can we still ask for Sisyphus other than that one, or is he out? I'm gonna nix Sisyphus. Originally I honestly didn't think anybody would pick that, because what does Sisyphus have to do with me personally, or the show, or the community, or the politics that we talk about? And yeah. I mean, what I was thinking before the drama went down was because the other aspect being that it's just a very basic thing. If you Google Sisyphus tattoo, they're all exactly the same. And I mean, except for the bigger ones, and I don't have that much space to do something, different. And so it would just be this. And I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with having tattoos that are not super unique, but the idea, I talked to this person about the idea, since this, this doesn't really mean much to me. I was thinking about the notion of doing Sisyphus watching the boulder roll down. That seems a little bit more like what the story is about. But yeah, no. So, anybody could, yeah. Hit up ChatGPT. Your logo with the face removed. Keep the glasses. Interesting. And so, see if later you want to, if you want to pick this, then it should be like, you know what, I want to go with that one. Fair enough. All right, diving back in.
Like, we have to back off from some of this because, we're going to lose the midterms. I think the truth's the opposite.
Yeah.
I think if he would go more into painting these things, that you would actually see more support for him. I think it is popular.
Not a single step back. You're not backing down whatsoever.
It's a website. Just go to the website.
I think that's the move, and I don't think he has much to lose by doing it.
Agreed.
I think he has very, very little to lose. So
you make a really good, just this last thing, you do make a really good point about someone needs to exact the monopoly on force right now, and someone will.
Yep. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Or Grok, or any of the free ones.
And it was sad. Look, I'm not here. I think Rittenhouse was well within his rights, right? But there's a young man that will have to live with the fact that he had to shoot and kill someone. And why? Because the local police sat there 500 yards away.
He looks like he's doing it.
So that was the other thing. Sorry, guys. That was real quick, and then we're getting back to it. The only other thing is that I don't want anything with Morty, because he's old and he's going to pass soon. And I'm doing a whole chess piece of just Morty. And so, the reasoning behind this is, I'm going to be emotional enough when I go to get that, and I haven't had a tattoo in 10 years, and so I just wanted to break that up and get something a little bit more fun, so that when I go to get his, then it's a little bit more it's not as big, you know what I mean? Hey, shout out to Blueberry Street with the 199 said Epstein didn't kill himself. Bigfoot and as Bigfoot Epstein. Interesting. So see, the other aspect of this is because we're not doing the picture specifically. We'll see how that comes out. I like it. So far we've got the Mecca JD Vance, Muscle Beach Ron, Epstein, didn't Epstein himself, and of course our sponsors' picks. Thank you so very, very much, guys. Exactly. Bonus
to shoot and kill someone. And why? Because the local police sat there 500 yards away.
He looks like he's doing okay.
Well, I think he's doing fine.
I think he's doing okay.
But nonetheless, like
it shouldn't get to that point.
It should not.
Yeah, right.
And it was predictable. And I understand from the libertarian perspective, it's like, well, we don't want the cops going and busting skulls. Look, I'm with you. I don't want to see National Guard in the street, but I also want to see local law enforcement doing something. I wouldn't want to see right-wingers rioting with impunity in any city when they don't get their way, looting stores, attacking law enforcement. I would understand and say, even if these people technically voted for the same candidate as me, you can't do that. That is not something that we should be allowed to do. We should all draw the line at using violence in order to get your way politically. But the problem is the left has been doing this since the days of Saul Alinsky, since the days of the Weather Underground.
Right. We can talk about, hey, let's solve this through diplomacy without violence, as long as both sides agree to that. The left let that go a long time ago.
You can see almost every single time that there's a right-wing president that you see these left-wing riots. And we've just come to accept it.
Yep. Type it again. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it while this is playing. Type it again.
Yep. You know, May 30th, 2020, you had a bunch of left-wingers that tried to break into the White House. This is when Trump had to be moved to a bunker.
29. 529, never forget. Bunker boy.
2020, you had a bunch of left-wingers that tried to break into the White House. This is when Trump had to be moved to a bunker.
Yeah,
and
they
Biden
call him bunker boy.
Yeah, Biden made fun of him, told him to go back to his bunker and all that stuff. Yeah. You want to know why that they didn't get into the White House? Because everybody knew. I knew it. You knew it. Every single Secret Service agent knew it. All the law enforcement know the left's going to riot. They're going to riot. And with January 6th, they didn't expect that. Now,
I've been a minority. Is that a bad thing now? Do you hate minorities, Craig? What's wrong with minorities?
Think that they intentionally set it up. But it's so ubiquitous with the left. We're like, of course they're going to riot. Of course. Right. We've just come to accept it. And so at this point, it's just like, man, we're not even upset about it because, yeah, that's what the left does. They just riot every time they feel like it. So sure, there'll be law enforcement there. They can protect the president. But other than that, they're just going to run rampant through the streets of D.C. or Portland or Seattle or wherever. And I'm sorry, at some point, people are losing faith in our legal system where they could look out and they could see this happen over and over and over again. Meanwhile, we live in this anarcho-tyranny where if, you get a speeding ticket, you go ahead. If you don't like what your local government's doing, ram your car into them. See if you get a misdemeanor. Right. Your ass is going to jail for a long time. So people are fed up, including myself.
Where's your bail fund?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
promote that bail
you ain't
fund.
getting your bail fund. I think that's a really good point. Moving right into that, this comes in from, I guess, an in-house...
Again, I would. Isn't that a female? I thought the Gorlock thing was a female. No.
Reporter here, is that correct?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah,
probably Dave Smith. Probably Dave Smith. They don't like Dave Smith.
Allahu.
Nice.
Am I pronouncing that right?
Eliyahu. Yeah.
Allahu?
The legend.
Allahu?
Yeah.
Okay. Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt answers questions on Department of Homeland Security.
Did not know that.
On demasking demand.
Didn't really know that it was fully human, so.
From the Democrats to fund DHS, Leavitt says it's something the White House will be discussing with lawmakers.
I like Dave. I'm just starting to see a little bit how personally the libertarian worldview doesn't exactly match mine. I really do like Dave Smith.
Let's play the video.
All right. Oh, what the hell?
Give it to me, Caroline. I want it.
DHS funding was to demask ICE agents. One of the Democrats' main demands for DHS funding was to demask ICE agents. Is this something that the president is even considering?
Again, this is one of the
here for a
specific
second.
points in the letter that went out.
And we'll back the video up in just a second here, but notice the focal point here: demasking ICE agents. Right. So what's been going on, in my opinion, is a mass terror campaign, which is reminiscent of Weather Underground, and the left demands that ICE agents be unmasked, and this way they can dox them. They can get that dox out to people who will actually affect some sort of terror against these agents. That's what's actually happening in real time, and that's what the concern is. That concern is legitimate. We've seen these people before surround people's houses. We've seen them before. They went to Tucker Carlson's house. Yep. They will harass these agents, and they will dox their families, and they're happy to do it. Now, they claim on their side, wait a second, we have a right to know who these people are. They're public service officials.
Generally, I do agree with that. But like, is there no point at which we would say, okay, this is bad enough that they need protection? I mean, SWAT has protection and they're public servants, right?
And they shouldn't be out here masked up. That comes with the territory. So how do you solve that from the libertarian prism, Ian?
Yeah, I think you need to allow them to be masked. Personally, it's kind of like
maybe they're just saying libertarian specifically about Ian. That's what it seems like.
I guess this is the beginning of the stormtrooper. Literally, this is why they will wear full body armor, so you don't know who's who. And plausible deniability, you can't.
You mean like how Antifa does that too?
Go after their families, but like, are we the empire? I don't know. I don't want to be, but this republic is like on its deathbed right now. I don't know
where are the voices on the left? Where are the voices on the left going, you know what? Maybe we should stop our people from attacking ICE. Maybe we should stop people like Larry Krasner, who's the like AG or whatever, the DA in Philadelphia. That's like, we're going to go after every ICE agent with Nuremberg type trials. We're going to unmask you all afterwards. There's like, you put them in this untenable situation where it's like, hey, if you do this work that the people voted for, lefties are going to hunt you down and hunt your family down, right? And the politicians of the left are going to basically pay lip service. They won't say be violent, but they're going to say, oh, you'll never work in California again if you work for ICE. Oh.
I got to back that up a little bit. My mom, the concert let out, and my mom just learned that her mother died tonight. I don't know. I planned to talk a little bit about it in the religious context, but maybe I'll save that for like the after party or something. But yeah, again, I don't believe in prayer, but my family is very religious. So if you and they both believe in prayer and you want to put that out there, then go for it. All right, I gotta back this up a little bit.
Left you Nuremberg type or whatever, the DA in Philadelphia. That's like, we're going to go after every ICE agent with Nuremberg type trials. We're going to unmask you all afterwards. There's like, you put them in.
I have no idea. And it won't let me click it because in the same spot, there's a click to star it. So like when you do that, like I know that it's there. In the same spot where you star it, it has a little question mark, and I don't know what it means. I'm pretty sure it's a StreamYard thing over a YouTube thing, but I have no idea. And thank you guys very much. Very, very much. Appreciate it. Let's give a dilly dilly to my grandma. I believe she was 96, 93, 96, somewhere in there. So appreciate it, guys.
Trials. We're going to unmask you all afterwards. There's like, you put them in this untenable situation where it's like, hey, if you do this work that the people voted for, lefties are going to hunt you down and hunt your family down, right? And the politicians of the left are going to basically pay lip service. They won't say be violent, but they're going to say, oh, you'll never work in California again if you work for ICE. Oh, we'll find out who you are. Oh, we're going to go after you with Nuremberg trials. Like, we're in this situation where it's like all of the problems are starting because we've allowed the left to be violent thugs, and no one will call it out. They're just like, well, we don't like the symptom. We don't like the fact that now they're wearing masks. They wouldn't have to wear masks if the left didn't get away with rioting with impunity over and over and over.
We also,
and that's why the on principle, it's like, no, they're public servants. They should be. It's random TV. It's random. I don't know what it is. It's random. But these officers, I get the principle that they are public servants. We should be able to see. But at what point, if they're literally getting doxxed and people are coming to their homes and looking for their families and stuff, like at what point do we say that's not okay? We need to change things. I don't know that I have the answer, but certainly it has to be a legitimate question.
Pretend that just laughing at them will do this.
Right.
Oh, we can just laugh at them because they're silly.
Right.
They're
Exactly.
stupid, weak soy boys, blah, 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 blah. But
with no action.
Yeah, that's not working. You can't just laugh at them. We have to take actual action here. And if we don't take action here and the administration doesn't take action here, they're going to continue. And they're going to win this overwhelmingly. So
yeah, there's no voices.
Buck said the left are trying to reframe sanctuary cities without talking about it. That's not what this is. That's not what it is about. Okay, how are they retrying to frame sanctuary cities without talking about it, and what is it about?
And they're going to win this overwhelmingly. So
yeah, there's no voices on the left because this is what they want to see. I mean, they literally, and there's a lot of low information people on the left. I get it because they're like, oh, we like brown people and cheers for brown people or whatever. But you have, the people that are
yeah, that's what you like, right, Craig?
actually doing these actions admit this stuff. I mean, we saw it in Minnesota where they were going after the hotels. They were working with local businesses to figure out where ICE was staying, what they were doing, the rental car places that were giving them the cars. I mean, this is a part of their plan. They want to dox them. They want their identities to be exposed.
And how are they going to harass them? They're not going to harass them by going after the agents. They're going to go after their families.
Right.
That's how they always do it. They always make the opinion to go after the families. It's demoralizing.
Well, they can't go after the job. They can't go after the job. So what's next? The family.
It's a demoralization campaign. You don't come out here, because if you do, there's going to be consequences. Maybe not to you, but how much are you willing to put up with for a job when it comes to your loved ones? Yeah. And the answer to that question for many is not much. Not much.
Right? Just look, you talked about Tucker. Just look at some recent examples here. We have, lest we forget, Charlie Kirk being assassinated, 2 assassination attempts against Donald Trump. You had Kavanaugh, a would-be assassin, going to his house. Just the other day, we had OMB Russ Vought. Someone was arrested outside of his house that was screaming about Project 2025 that was apparently trying to take his life, right? Now imagine that you saw Charlie Kirk happen, and the paper of record, the New York Times, comes out the next day within 24 hours and puts out an article that they then had to put a retraction at the bottom of 24 hours later. And it says, yesterday's clip said that Charlie Kirk had said some anti-Semitic things on his channel. While this is true, he was quoting someone else and then rebutting it, right? Almost ubiquitously, the Democrats came out and were like, well, Charlie's a fascist. Basically, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, he had it coming. Then what do they call ICE? Well, you're a fascist too. And we're going to unmask you and we're going to come for you.
And what do we do to fascists? If we're on the left, then whatever we want.
Knowing full well that they're stormtroopers, just like the people you saw over social media making fun of Charlie Kirk dying and saying more people should deserve it. All these ICE people see this.
See, Liberty, this is the kind of thing that has moved me away from the Dave Smiths of the world. So the biggest mistake right-wingers make is trusting the government to fix every single problem. That's how you get the Patriot Act and the CIA running the presidency. Maybe so, but those are things of a bygone era of republicanism. And the notion that I get is that anything that you appeal to the government for is bad because the government is bad. Therefore, it's all bad, and I'm right all the time. I'm not saying this about you. I'm saying that the whoever it is that Andrew is talking about, like, oh, these libertarians, that is the sentiment. Even if people aren't specifically saying that, like I said, not you, but that's what I'm saying. What they are addressing, I think they are addressing the notion that a lot of libertarians will say, because show me a MAGA person who is under 45 who is in favor of the Patriot Act. Give me a MAGA voter who is under 45 who likes the fact that the CIA is running the presidency. You don't actually think that, right? Like maybe we're talking about rhinos and old people, but that's not really the landscape anymore. And it just seems a little bit convenient to just look at a bygone era where things were really bad and now they're bad on the other side too, and just be like, oh, well, it's all bad. Like, yeah, but they're still going to do stuff. So maybe we should try to affect that as best we can. Box said sanctuary cities originally meant that anyone could report a crime and go to court, and they would not ask your legal status to get justice. It did not mean police could not do crowd control for ICE. Well, I mean, you give them an inch and they'll take a mile. What? This is the left-wing playbook, man. I don't disagree with you, and I appreciate that you are of the position that, well, okay, that was a good idea, but now it's going too far. But that's everything. That's everything. I figured. Nocturnal Gamer said, no, what most people can't acknowledge is your vote doesn't matter. The whole system is corrupt. Your vote means nothing. It's just people with power helping themselves, not Americans. Wake up. Okay, so let's just all go to bed and put our head in the under the covers and cry about it, right? I don't even disagree with you, Nocturnal Gamer. But, like, again, what are you going to do about it?
You see it. You see the mass movement of the people calling for your head. And then when you look and you see what the mainstream narrative is with the Democratic Party, you're basically getting wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, we're coming for you. Yep. And so the entire point is we want you unmasked. We want you fearful because we want to intimidate law enforcement to not take action when we aren't in power.
Meanwhile, we can, of course, be masked.
That's right.
We can, of course, be completely masked. We can show up to these things without having to show our face.
We can stop people and ask for their papers. We can assume somebody is this and then just treat them like they are that without any justification. But any due process. Did you get any due process for those tech bros that you chased down because you just decided they were ICE?
Of course, because we're not public servants. And so in this way, the law is being weaponized against the lawful. And that needs to stop. And it needs to stop immediately. Let's watch the rest of this.
One of the Democrats' main demands for DHS funding was to demask ICE agents. Is this something that the president is even considering?
Again, this is one of the specific points in the letter that went out by Senate Majority Leader Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. I won't negotiate the individual points from the podium, but it is obviously something the White House will be discussing with lawmakers on Capitol Hill in the coming days.
Is the administration concerned that the shakeup that we're seeing of
So a non-answer from the White House correspondent. Surprise, surprise.
DHS activity in Minneapolis could potentially embolden different obstructionist protesters around the country as they now have a playbook on how to get ICE out of their cities?
Didn't even tell her this yet, but spot on. No name. The Tesla owners certainly got no due process before their vehicles were burned, most of them being lefties. But, you know, exactly. No principles, just position.
Obstructionist protesters around the country as they now have a playbook on how to get ICE out of their cities?
No, because what you...
Wait, sorry, I missed that. I want to get the full...
Is the administration concerned that the shakeup that we're seeing of DHS activity in Minneapolis could potentially embolden different obstructionist protesters around the country as they now have a playbook on how to get ICE out of their cities?
No, because what you saw yesterday with the drawdown of 700 agents only occurred because the condition that the president of the United States set for local states, local counties to turn over illegal aliens to ICE has been met. And as for the left-wing agitators who have been illegally obstructing ICE's immigration efforts, we are not letting that behavior go unnoticed or unpunished. In fact, just today, the Department of Homeland Security arrested this individual. He is a self-proclaimed Antifa member who has been threatening, doxing, harassing ICE. He called for the murder of federal law enforcement officers. He encouraged bloodshed in the streets of Minnesota. He proudly acclaimed affiliation with the domestic terrorist organization Antifa. And the Department of Justice, thanks to the great work of HSI and the FBI, was able to locate and arrest this individual today.
So FJB said, why do Democrats support all of that? Dogma. They are told to, and they do. I wish it was more complicated. It is not.
You know, I love how she holds it up. You know, like this is such a great achievement.
Yeah.
We got one.
Got this
We got
domestic
one guy.
terrorist. Right. This looks to me, Rob, like pure cope. Yep. This looks like. Am I wrong?
No,
Is this not pure
I'll give you
cope?
devil's advocate here. I'll give you devil's advocate. So what we are hearing on the ground and from the leftists is that, you know, the ICE presence and the deportations and stuff are still going on and are just as strong as before the quote unquote stand down order.
I would vote for this. I don't love MTG, but I love Massey, and I don't think MTG could really rock the boat too much. I would vote for that.
And the idea that Homan going in, you know, doing what he did was just to kind of get the PR, the public, to kind of lull back to sleep and forget about it, and maybe talk about.
That's how the dogma gets ingrained. We're on the same page, brother.
You know, Obama monkey videos or whatever. So like, I guess I'll throw that caveat in there to you guys. I mean, as far as like playing devil's advocate, what do you think if that was their strategy? You know, is this a smart?
It's silly. It's on its face. It's silly. They got exactly what they wanted. We got the fascist out. It doesn't matter. Deportations were going on under Biden at these facilities. They didn't care. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with get the fascists and get the fascists out. What that reporter asked was a brilliant question. He puts it back on them. He says, look, if it's the case that now that they have a playbook and they can prove it's proven to work, that if they agitate enough, you will do a drawdown because you're going to make a deal. You've given them all the leverage. Now, Trump's supposed to be the master of the art of the deal.
I was just going to say, what happened to the master deal maker? I fear he just doesn't give a shit anymore. He knows that his legacy is going to be whatever other people claim it to be. And he's like, all right, well, if I'm not going to get accolades from this, I don't fucking care. I think he does care about America, but he's not a normal American. So as long as he was doing, like, he's much better in terms of the realm of politicians and understanding what the average man is asking for, whether or not he's going to give it. I'm just saying he's better at understanding what they're asking for. At some point, he just stop caring.
Oh, how's that a good deal? You don't give the leverage over to the domestic terrorists. That's crazy. And that's what it looks like is happening to me.
The reality is less important than the perception here, right? Because right now, if you're a person considering going on the street and rioting in, say, Portland or Atlanta, any city, right? You're like, well, did it work? Am I going to get in trouble? Did it work? Most of them are getting away with this with impunity. I could show you video after video of CBP and ICE pulling people over for obstructing them and saying, okay, you need to go home now. Every single one of those people that you let go is a riot that's occurring in the future because people are emboldened by the fact that they're able to obstruct basically with impunity. Sure, we got the worst of the worst, and that's good. At least that's if we assume that's what they did. Nonetheless, you should be going after all these people. So what happens is the perception, even if you're right, it's like, yeah, but this is really all they wanted. And let's be honest, I think at least with us three, maybe you as well, Ian, I don't know. Trump's not as hardline on immigration as we are. I want them all gone, all of them. I used to have a big heart, no more. Trump's out there saying, well, we're just going to get the worst of the worst. No, take them all. But let's assume that's not the.
I mean, and I agree. It's the manner in which a lot of it is happening. Then I'm like, we could be doing better. We could be doing better.
Case and they just want the worst of the worst. Could this be seen as a victory? Maybe, but perceptually, what it looks like is you negotiated with terrorists, and when you do that, the terrorists say, "Oh boy, all we have to do is keep using this playbook over and over." So for me, this is just going to ensure, as you said, we're gonna have Sovereign Love 2.0. We're gonna see riots all over the country when the weather gets better.
I mean, I agree. I was just giving you a devil's advocate because that is
that's your position. You're stuck with it forever.
Listen, anyone that's heard me on this show, I literally want checkpoints out there. So in West Virginia, they do these checkpoints for like sobriety, where they'll pull people over and they check and see, oh, are you drunk or whatever. Why aren't we doing that for citizenship? Like, what, I was, there'll be
bro, a few years ago, if you asked me, should we just stop people going about their day and ask about their citizenship? I'd be like, bro, what the fuck? Now,
stop all that's optically terrible. Like, why can't we do that? We could do that if someone's drunk, but not if they're a citizen.
Look, I give Trump a lot of leeway, and this is why. He's the only person that's moved the Overton window on this issue. Republicans for years were just doing nothing. Republicans right now in the Senate are what have they done? Like, someone tell me what the Republicans have accomplished year one with the House, with the Senate, and the President. Nothing. They do nothing. They're not enshrining any of Trump's executive orders. Nothing.
And here's the other thing. Like, as this continues, like it is, more, and just like they're talking about, more and more and more and more and more people are going to be happier and happier and happier to see and engage in more violence.
Senate and the President, nothing. They do nothing. They're not enshrining any of Trump's executive orders, nothing. And so I get it. Trump's fighting basically a one-man battle. That I understand. But the truth of the matter is, he could be doing a lot better. You want to end this? You know what you do? Start going after the employers. Go after all these places that are intentionally hiring these illegals. That's what you do. You keep doing these raids, right? But you let it be known, like, that's it. I'm allowed to enforce the law as the executive, and we're going to enforce the law against the employers. But instead, Trump's going to be like, well, actually, I talked to a lot of our great farm producers and factories, and these illegals are good. And if we kick them out, we'll have to replace them with bad people. It's nonsensical. And so it's mixed.
I can't believe he actually said that. I can't believe he actually said that. Like, bro, what? What?
What do you do with the employers, though?
Find them, then jail them.
See, I go even further. Deport them to the countries of the people that they were employing. Absolutely. You send one or two business owners to Somalia or to Mexico, you know what I mean? That's going to stop real quick.
You're right. Trump isn't super hardline on deportation. He was super hardline on stopping immigration. Yeah. And he basically did that. Now, the deportation, he was pretty clear. He doesn't want to disrupt American business. I kind of understand it. If we're really facing a birth crisis, we're going to need a workforce. Maybe that's what this is all about, is that was this big importation. Biden literally said surge the border when he was running for president in 2019 or something. So
the GDP go up?
GDP go up. GDP go up. GDP go up. Debt go up.
No, this is why I can't wait for the AI. I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, AI this. I can't wait. I can't wait until it just takes over. We don't need the labor force. The machines are going to do.
Now you sound like a leftist, if not a globalist.
The work. I've already shared my homeless idea on the show many times, how to put the homeless to work in the AI machines. There's clever ways that we can do things.
It's so nefarious. It's so disgusting. The same, again, it's this dialectic. They create the problem and then say you have to go to them to solve it. So they create the problem of sort of pushing this materialistic worldview that basically encourages feminism for women to not want to be mothers anymore. Then that puts women in the workforce, what makes it very unaffordable to have children. And then after all that, they're like, oh, shucks, we're not having enough kids. Now we have to import third world immigrants, which, by the way, happen to be our globalist agenda in the first place. So, for me,
I just conveniently aligns with the globalist mindset or the globalist agenda.
which, by the way, happened to be our globalist agenda in the first place. So, for me, I think that there is a way in the short term to keep immigrants or have people go home and then bring the ones back based on a merit-based system that we need. But I think the case is overstated. Look at all the problems that are coming. If you watched Bessent the other day talk in front of Congress.
Hold on real quick. Does anybody think that legal immigrants who are not citizens, does anybody think that legal immigrants, people who are here legally, they have all the correct papers, do you put them, is there anything that you like, is it just illegals, or should we be focusing on people who are not citizens as well? Because like for my parents are citizens now, but they came here, on green cards and or visas or whatever. I don't fucking know how it works. I'm American. I don't know. I don't need to know how the fuck that shit works. But they're citizens now. Right? I'm curious how you guys feel, because I'm not for that. If you're a citizen, you're a citizen. Or if not, excuse me. Let me roll that back. You have the right to be here. Then you have the right to be here. And just the illegals. Yeah, that's already kind of in the rules, right? Like if you're here on a visa and you do something like that, yes, definitely less traffic. But I don't know. Everyone deported is a new job opening and a new apartment opening. Sounds all good to me.
Stated. Look at all the problems that are coming. If you watched Bessent the other day talk in front of Congress, he was like, look, we're going to start to see rent prices and home prices go down. Why? Because hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, that we're kicking out, that we're competing and increasing the demand for those housing things. Young people right now can't afford houses, and we're telling them, well, listen, sorry, we got to mass bring in people from India and illegal immigrants, etc., that are going to be these homeowners and rent all of these places.
And where are they putting them? In the affordable housing
That's
areas?
Right.
I'm good. Keep that shit in your house. Shout out to Warehouse Junkie. Thank you, sir. Said legal equals legal. If you went through the proper channels, you belong here. I like it. Okay, bet. I just wanted to see, because I'm sure there are some like groiper types who would be like, no, only the true heritage Americans should be able to stay, or something like that. If you're a citizen, you're a citizen. No, yeah, I mean, hey, I come up with this stuff all by myself. If you're naturalized, you should stay. Gang. We'll say Canadians get deported for breaking the smallest laws. The left only cares that they are brown. Foot soldiers. The what's the useful idiots? The useful idiots
that are going to be these homeowners and rent all of these places.
And where are they putting them? In the affordable housing
That's
areas?
Right. Mm-hmm. They're getting loans. They're getting these loan programs that are designed for young people to be able to afford houses. They're going to people on H-1B visas.
Yep.
Wait. So Costco lawsuit said if we let that. So are you talking about illegals, or are you addressing my question about people who are here legally but not citizens? If we let them stay and vote, there will never be another Republican government. If we let them stay and pay taxes without voting, it's taxation without representation, and starts a revolution. Deporting them all is the only way. So if you're talking about illegal, it's completely agreed. If you're stretching that, then I think it begs the question on where do we? It was an either or. Is it this or that? And you said yes. What did I miss? Yeah, all right. Only those descended from the travelers on the Mayflower may stay. It's gonna be real quiet. Okay, just for the illegals. Yeah, completely agree. There's no there's no other way. There is no other way. Even though they are they do tend to be more conservative leaning in ideology, they're gonna vote for the people that are gonna give them free shit. And they're inbred.
Loan programs that are designed for young people to be able to afford houses, they're going to people on H-1B visas.
Yep.
Now, the whole point of the H-1B is you're supposed to be here temporary, right? So why are you purchasing a home with government money, government-backed loans? The whole thing's a joke, right? And it's designed to sort of screw over. The American citizen is always last. And yeah, you're right. GDP up.
GDP
I
go
don't
up.
care about GDP to the extent
GDP
that
up.
means that a bunch of people get wealthy that weren't in this country in the first place. Why don't I care about my neighbor that's a citizen and his fortunes? I don't care your skin color, any of that. But I care about that person, not, well, hey, that person's unemployed now because we brought some dude in from India or some illegal migrant came over and does that job for $5 less. But look, GDP up.
But it's not even GDP up. It's bottom line up, because the GDP would stay the same. If you paid Americans more to do the jobs that the H-1Bs and the illegal immigrants are doing right now, the GDP would stay the same. The American citizens would just make more money. I mean, so yeah, it's not even a GDP up.
Oh,
it's a bottom line go up. We want to make more money. We want cheap labor.
Yeah, but that's what we're talking about. Is
Who will clean your toilet, Donald Trump?
I don't know how you get anywhere around this without directly making the slavery argument. It's the same argument for slavery. And before the women folk, the economy was doing just fine.
a leftist talking point. So remember, Rob professionally debates with leftists, and one of the arguments that they make more than anything else, we need their GDP to go up.
The leftists don't understand anything about business.
I
So
agree.
when they say GDP,
I'm not saying leftists aren't totally retarded. They are.
Right.
I'm just pointing out
what they
that
actually mean is
that,
bottom line go up.
Yeah,
right?
they want GDP go up. So, so we mock them for that all the time. But what we're getting at here in the critical issue, kind of to move it back.
Oh, TV, thank you so very, very much for hanging out. Remember, you get a tattoo pic. So let me know. You sent out a bunch of them. Give me whichever one you like. Put a star next to it. I will start over here, and it will go in the poll.
That all the time. But what we're getting at here in the critical issue, kind of to move it back to this, if we had a choice, if we had the choice right now, Trump, send in the stormtroopers now, lock it all down now, nationwide, before there even is signs of a protest. Should he do it? I think that the answer is yes.
I agree. No.
Yes. Yeah, lock it all down.
Yes. I would say no. It'd be only if there is a riot. Then.
And then, ironically, back then, I think that was 2010, if I'm not mistaken. It's right in my history because I search it all the time. I search it all the time. One letter, just put KE, and it comes up. And listen to the reaction from the rest of the panelists. They're like, ooh. Now, the same people are so offended, they'd be like, oh, yeah, totally.
You have a very good point, though. There are a lot of Latinos here in this country that do agree that the immigration problem is a problem, and it does need to be addressed, and it does need to be fixed. Interesting. But making
What is this video?
Those comments, those racist comments, do not help.
And if you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilets, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that you know what I mean. Like, when I'm saying that.
Yep, we know what you mean, Kelly. I never noticed this, but look at Whoopi when she says this. What is going on with this video?
If you kick every Latino out of this country,
she's already like, no, I know where you're
who is
going.
going to be cleaning your toilets, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that you know what I mean. Like when I'm saying
There's more jobs to be
in LA, they always
but
they
Latinos are not only the only people.
Yikes! That is racist. But what do you expect? That's all they care about. Shout out to Box again. Wait, hold on. TV, you lost your pick, brother. You lost your pick. We now have a new sole sponsor of the stream. Of course, a treat for the Overlord. And Box said, I will pick the fruit. I will pick the cotton. It's not beneath me. Dilly dilly with the cheers emoji behind it. Dilly, fucking dilly. So now, Box, now that you are the sole sponsor, and guys, that's 8 out of 15 super chats. So we might even hit the goal, and that's a 9. Oh my goodness! Again with the big 10. Let's give him a black there. Yeah. Eat it, motherfucker. What are you doing? Eat it. There we go. Thank you. Out sponsoring yourself. Box said I was a housekeeper for 10 years. When I left, I was making $9 an hour. After 10 years as a white dude, I have cleaned thousands of toilets, and it's not beneath me. Please tip your housekeeper. good advice. And I mean, hey, I don't know how many of you have housekeepers, but I don't. So I clean toilets all the time because, well, I clean a toilet all the time. I only have one toilet in here, but yeah, most of us got a clean toilet. And there has to be a difference in the there has to be a difference in how we look at this stuff so that we aren't I lost my train of thought. Yeah, looking at this stuff as it's not like, so beneath you, exactly as Box is saying. Like, whatever happened to there's nothing wrong with an honest day's work? What happened to there's nothing wrong with an honest day's work? Now you got to flex on the gram.
No.
Yes. Yeah, lock it all down.
Yes. I would say no. It'd be only if there is a riot, then lock it down, in my opinion. But there's no, it just doesn't seem bad enough.
What do you do in a place like Portland? Where let me make a bold prediction. You ready? They're going to riot in Portland next week. Let's see if that comes true. Oh, wait, it does. It's like
on Poly Market right now. Everyone's a millionaire.
At some point, I agree with you. I don't want them to, all right, I'm not so hardline that I want them to be like, man, Baton Rouge. Let's send the Marines to Baton Rouge right now, because maybe they'll be a riot. What I'm saying is it is entirely predictable the areas that aren't cooperating and having law enforcement standing down. And the point's not to have the Marines.
Thank you again, Box. I would get your tattoo pick in, because if Big Daddy Funk comes through, he's going to steal your spot. We know how he rolls. So pick one of your tattoo ideas. It will make it as long as you choose while you are the sponsor. And you just out-sponsored TV, and he didn't make a pick. So throwing away money, throwing away influence over the rest of my life. And Baller. Oh, Baller. That was 1 hour of work in 2009. Well, that's true too. But, clean your toilets, folks. Even you girls. Bingo. Women are fucking nasty. Women are fucking nasty. If you ever worked in like a place where, you had to clean the bathroom as part of just like, you're in a restaurant or you worked retail or something, women's room was always more dirty and gross and nasty and all that stuff. Girls are nasty. Walter said, if you're an illegal and you get caught up with the police in Louisiana, you're getting deported. Louisiana police cooperate with ICE. See how there's nobody that dies there? See how there's no fighting there? It's almost like the police, despite how much I personally might not like the idea of the police, I love the idea of law and order. And unfortunately, cops are a necessary part of that.
The areas that aren't cooperating and having law enforcement standing down. And the point's not to have the Marines in there enforcing the law. The point is to create law and order, right? That we're going to have a show of force that will prevent the necessity for Border Patrol to have a situation like Alex Preddy. Border Patrol should not be in the business of having to try to deport illegals while simultaneously protecting themselves from people that are using an app to instruct people how to create flashpoints and obstruct them. Now, if anything, remember, there were people arrested on January 6th that never entered the Capitol that weren't even there that day. But they went through their Telegram messages and other things, said, we think this is a big conspiracy, in order to have an insurrection. We are literally talking about signal apps that are giving people instructions on how to create altercations with law enforcement. They're literally having
and get away with it.
Yes, they have license plate readers, right? Where they're doing all this stuff.
They're stopping people on the road and checking their IDs.
And we just accept it. Right?
I know, it's crazy.
And the irony.
It's amazing. Like, you have to tip your cap to the impressive propaganda that they get away with.
I know.
That, like, you talk to your normie friend, they're like, oh, that Alex Preddy shooting was bad.
No, that's one of the things that the organizational part of, there's so much better than organizing. Part of organizing is getting everybody on the same message. And whether it's because they just chant fucking bullshit over and over, or they're just getting brainwashed directly. This is what happened. This is bad. Anyone who protests must not. But either way, that is what they think.
You're like, yeah, but you don't see what's happening every single day. Every single day. Like, they're creating this. You literally, if you're in an Uber there, did you see this video the other day? The guy had an Uber driver who's like, I think from the Blaze or something. And his Uber driver was like, look to be of African descent. And like, they run his plate. And they're like, we have you with ICE, but clearly you're not.
Yeah,
right?
He was like Somalian.
How do we accept that? Like, it is the idea. And it builds a rage in me, and I'm assuming a bunch of other people, where it's like, why do we have to accept these losers having authority over us? Screw that. None of us voted for that. It's outrageous. And at some point, you're going to see more and more conflicts. So for me, it's not.
Well, the reason is because everybody is willing to fucking cuck out and be like, well, maybe we should do this, and maybe we should do that, and maybe it's better. No. Send in the fucking National Guard. That's what they're there for.
An escalation. It's a de-escalation to be like, look, if law enforcement's not going to do their job of protecting, it's an unfair burden to put on ICE and CBP to carry out their duties and protect themselves from left-wing mobs. So we're going to put a show of force around them to let them go do their jobs, not to be aggressive. We don't want the Marines out there arresting people for, like speeding violations, but they should be there as a protective force. Yep. If you're going to riot, then we're going to declare the insurrection act.
And by the way, you can do this at federal buildings now.
Yeah.
You're right. Those are federal buildings. There's no reason why you can't deploy only to the federal buildings. But what they're saying is, no, we don't want even troops at the federal buildings. And it's like, no, he has the authority to do that. And he's always had the authority to do that. They can lock their own federal buildings down. That's where the points always will be. So they're always going to march to the streets and end at those federal buildings, or they're going to start at the federal buildings, march around, and end back at the federal buildings. So I don't know why not preemptively lock them down during the winter, right? We have it in reverse now. Summer is coming.
I like that. I wish I paused that before. Summer is coming. Winter is coming. But yes, Rox, that's exactly what I've been saying. People might die if you do that, and it might be justified. If we didn't have to do, if it didn't get this bad, then people might not have to die. But here we are. Here we are.
Right? Summer is
the only
coming.
time you could go outside during COVID was to riot.
Right.
Yeah, that was it. And, we used to arrest people for impersonating police officers. And if you see these people in the streets in Minneapolis, they literally look official. You know what I mean? They're out there checking IDs. I mean, it's just, I never thought I'd see that in my life.
Section 3 of the 14th Amendment that the Democrats in Colorado used to try to keep Trump off the ballot, right, says if you engage in an insurrection, you had an oath of office, you can't run again. The only reason the Supreme Court ruled against that was they were like, well, you basically can't do that to the president, right? But that would apply to anybody that holds an oath. You tell me why AOC out there instructing people on how to obstruct law enforcement and ICE, as we see based on the left's definition,
insurrection.
You debated how many times the lefties. An insurrection is, it's like 4 parts that they use. It was from these guys, Bowden Paulson. It's like for a public good. It's a gathering of like a group of people using violence and intimidation to resist a law or a lawful action. That's an insurrection every day, multiple of them that we see. And as these are ongoing, we have these Democratic politicians that are paying lip service to it every single day. And not one Republican's been like, remove these people from office. Not one. And that's what I find outrageous. It must be so great to be a Democrat and actually have a party that's willing to go back for you and willing to be aggressive for you. Instead, what we get is like, now, wait a minute. Maybe we should have a pathway to dignity.
Optics,
Maybe we have to worry about optics. Like, I'm tired of that. And if you're play this through game theory long enough.
And you've just gone a little too far this time.
Right.
It's too much.
It's too much.
Oh, that Peretti shooting. Oh, it wasn't good.
It's ridiculous. Well, let's move on from there, guys.
Wait, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll see what he's saying. But I mean, summer is coming. Summer is coming. I've never, again, I haven't really been paying attention to politics as long as some of you, but over the 10-year mark now, and I've never seen protests this early for something that was not unanimous, but overwhelmingly voted on. It is scary. It is scary. So people keep making the mistake of holding people to the same standards as optics when the context is completely different. Like the Rittenhouse thing. There's absolutely no parallel with any ICE incident. Yep. ICE and Border Patrol officers all need body cams. And he's wrong. Public optics affect public opinion. Well, you missed the context of that. He was saying that the people a lot of people are like, no, we don't want to do this because of the optics and because of the public opinion that people are going to say you're authoritarian and Nazi and this and that and that. And point being, they're already doing that. So we may as well do what needs to be done, what is the right thing to do, what is was voted upon, and all down the list. Because not doing it is not going to prevent them from trying to turn us all into fascists that they are justified in making valid military targets or some shit.
Can you finish what you were saying? If you game theory it, then what happens?
Oh, yeah. If you game theory the side.
No.
Give me like 40 minutes. No.
Okay,
Game theory, the side that's willing to play for keeps is going to win if you play that game over and over again. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so we find ourselves in this position where it's like, if we keep saying, well, let's leave cooler heads prevail. Why did cancel culture start to end? Because the right started to play it.
Correct.
right? For years, people like me were like, don't play that game. Well, what happened? As soon as they were like, hey, Bud Light, we're no longer buying you. Everyone was like, whoa, hey, wait a minute.
That's why I'm disappointed with Trump on the monkey video. Like, stand by that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Andrew made an awesome argument earlier with Straighter Aid about, I think she was a self-avowed, said she was
Straighter Aid. Shout out to the heavies.
communist. And then Andrew was asking her where she thought rights came from. And she was like, well, I think they're just like arbitrary. You know, rights are just kind of like whoever has the authority. And he's like, then why would I ever, how did you phrase it? Why would I ever give you rights that you believe don't exist?
Yeah.
It was the way
Shout
you guys
out
got to watch
Straighter Aid, though.
What's that?
She's great. Shout
It
out
was a
Straighter
great
Aid,
episode. It was a great conversation. Check out the Culture War from earlier if you haven't seen it yet. Andrew, thank you for allowing me to pick Rob's brain.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. You guys are
I was
so.
like, why are we closing down? We got time. But speaking of which, we did just pass the 2-hour mark. Where are we? We are $6 donations away from hitting the swole goal. And I mean, you guys could do the math, but 15 super chats in total. That's $6. That's $6. We can hit that goal, get Morty a treat, and make my puny ass do some push-ups. I am puny, and I do need it.
I'm a benevolent dictator when I'm in the host chair, so you're welcome for that. This coming up to Scott Bessent, and he says the IRS is about to hit banks with sweeping audits over their role in washing Minnesota money. Let's play that.
Funds in addition to helping support criminal and civil enforcement efforts. The IRS will also soon announce the formation of a task force as civil enforcement is auditing financial institutions that facilitated the laundering of Minnesota funds in addition to helping support criminal and civil enforcement efforts.
Is that a deep fake?
No.
What the?
Are you sure?
That seemed weird.
I mean, I got to
No, in the middle.
Yeah,
and then
repeated.
Listen, I have a take on this.
This is the exact same way I felt about when Trump initially gave that same energy in the press conference with Bibi Netanyahu, and someone asked Pam Bondi about it, and he's like, wait. Are we still talking about that? I thought that was a Democrat hoax or some gay shit like that. I was very upset then, and I continue to be upset now. Bullshit. They're very clearly covering up the worst thing that may have ever happened in humanity. I don't know. Maybe not, but maybe. The fact that we can't say for sure that it wasn't is bad enough.
It's not going to be popular. I have zero faith in this. I have no faith in the IRS. I mean, this is the same organization that lost to Scientology in the 90s because they were killing their dogs and like going in their houses and stuff, and they got scared of the Scientologists.
I mean, that's like the one federal organization left people are afraid of.
And I am not. I have zero faith in it. I mean, if you look at our tax system, it's a nightmare. Actually, being somebody that pays into the system, unlike leftists, I can tell you, like, they have no idea what they're doing. So no, I don't think this is.
Well, the problem.
So shout out to Warehouse Junkie. Thank you. Said, what the fuck? The IRS is doing something. Hey, let's see. I'm going to stay here. Let's see how long it takes him to actually fucking do it. He's like, you'll bring it closer, right? But so are you saying this ironically? Are you saying this ironically, or are you disagreeing with them? There you go. Yeah, you lazy bastard. Are you saying that they are actually doing something? Or like, wait, what? The IRS is doing something? What's the tone there? Either way, thank you so very, very much. When they, like, something happened, and they all changed their minds. They were, people keep telling me that Trump didn't run on the Epstein files. Maybe he didn't specifically say anything about the files themselves, but his whole administration and the base, that was a very, very big part of it. That is why Kash Patel and Dan Bongino were given their positions. So it's not like they were always saying, this doesn't matter. This was a big part. And then just all of a sudden, why do you care? I care because you told me to. I didn't know that it was like this. And you told me it was like this. So now I care. Why wouldn't I care?
You like they have no idea what they're doing. So no, I don't think this is.
Well, the problem with these, okay, I'll back that up somewhat. The problem with these executive agencies is, right, remember Lois Lerner at the IRS when they were targeting the conservative groups? Everybody's like, well, did Obama sit her down? And like, hey, you know what we should do? No, Because what happens is the left has embraced this idea that they are morally superior. And so no one needs to say a word. The ends always justify the means. So whatever position you're put into in the...
Don't forget, guys, 99 cents for a 99 cents to suggest a tattoo that goes into a poll that will then go into the final poll for a tattoo that's going on my body forever. So right now we have an option of Epstein didn't that himself as Bigfoot. We have a Muscle Beach Ron Paul. We have a Mecca JD Vance. We're still waiting on Box to give his decision, unless he gets out sponsored. Let me know, guys. Let me know. You guys get to pick my next tattoo.
And so no one needs to say a word. The ends always justify the means. So whatever position you're put into in the executive branch, great. Go ahead and abuse that in order to justify your means. Because after all, Obama's great, right? Biden's great. Kamala's great. And the other people's evil. So do whatever you want. So yeah, I mean, even if you have people running the IRS that are stretching for this, will the on-the-ground agents, many of which are going to be radical lefties, which is why they got in the government position in the first place, are they going to enforce it?
Oh, that's still part of it. So remember I did a poll when I realized that we weren't going to be able to stick to the original thing. So the other 3 designs are going to stay. We're just replacing this one. So the Trump dilly dilly with, you can't see it as easily, but it's Trump hair and orange. And again, this is just kind of this isn't the tattoo itself. This is more the idea. The new poll that I'm going to do, I'm not going to put any pictures. I think that fucked with it. It's about the idea. But that one we're keeping. We're just replacing this one. Then another option is Trump as a Hindu god. And Hillary Clinton has a dick. Maybe that dick is Michelle Obama's. Up to you guys. Up to you guys. But if you would like to be in that 4th spot, 99 cents for a suggestion.
They're going to be radical lefties, which is why they got in the government position in the first place. Are they going to enforce it? I don't know. But the other side to that, though, is this is exactly what we should be doing. You could play whack-a-mole with the, street communist psychopaths that are out there, half them LARPing, and it's not going to put that much of a dent. But if you start going after the actual people that are funding them, now all of a sudden you'll start to see results.
I agree. When you hit the wallet, right? Yep. Hitting the wallet is always the thing that is the most effective. And it's one of the most powerful tools of the U.S. government. It's freezing assets, hitting the wallet. In this case, you got a domestic terror group going after their wallet. Seems like it's completely fine. Of course, in this...
Yep, that one's staying up. So make sure you look for the... I'll repost it a couple of times, but make sure you look for that community tab post. I'm not putting a tattoo on my face. Box, again! So I'm going to give this one is fine, but that's already one of the choices. So I'll give you the you can vote for a different design than you suggest, but we already have that option. So I'll let you keep the obviously. Thank you very, very much for the $2, but I'll still give you a different tat pick that is or a suggestion idea that's not one of the ones that's already there, because the dilly dilly is already staying there. But it is a good one. I do like that one. I do like it a lot. I feel like it's very TIJ. It's very much in the zeitgeist. You know. But thank you, sir. Out sponsoring your goddamn self, sir.
Terror group going after their wallet seems like it's completely fine. Of course, in this though, in Minnesota, they're talking about something else. They're looking at the funding, which is happening around all of this fraud that they've seen.
Proud. 4 more supers. 99 cents counts 4 more supers, and I've got to do push-ups, and Morty gets an extra treat.
And that apparently that's what this is about. So the fraud itself, what I don't understand about this is what the hell is the IRS going to do here? What are they looking for exactly? A task force for what?
Exactly. And why haven't they done it in the last 10 years? That's what I'm saying. Instead of getting on
Bad Bunny? Is that you?
On here and doing the speech where Ian literally thought it was AI, like, do the action first and then report it. I don't want your lip service. I don't want to say, oh, we're going to go after this. Arrest some people. Show the public, hey, this is what we did. Hey, this is why we missed it.
Did I pass?
The last 10 years. Hey, we're sorry. Like, your taxpayers when going to Somalia. Sorry about that. Maybe give us an explanation. Like, I
don't know, man. I feel we're one strongly worded letter away from like turning the corner, right? Like, the strongly worded letter.
Yes. If I can just put the right word. That reminds me of something that's not worth looking up, but somebody made a skit video I saw on TikTok about like when the Democrats curse. It's like, I don't give a damn. I'm not gonna deal with this shit anymore. And they're like, oh my God, so based.
from like turning the corner, right?
Like
I don't know, man. I feel we're one strongly worded letter away from like turning the corner, right? Like the old strongly worded letter, you know, the result.
I think that the IRS has new digital tools that they want to test now on the
nude digital
American people. Well, they're going to start it somewhere on people that will get behind them and say, yes, use your new technocratic means to crush my enemies. Oh, in 8 years, you mean you're going to use it on me? I didn't mean to unleash that beast, but darn it. But anyway, it seems inevitable anyway. Like,
tell me you never been on TikTok without telling me you never been on TikTok.
The digitization of the economy. They're talking about going to crypto economy. They're going to have complete control of assets. Banks can already debank you if you say bad words on TV. Nick Fuentes, for instance, that's not the bad word. That's the guy who got debanked.
But it's not going to be. It's not going to make them more effective at their job.
Hey, Nick Fuentes. Don't say it.
It's safe, Ian.
We like Fuentes. Don't debate
so, well, help me out here too.
I don't know who the guy with the pillow in front of him actually is. Does anybody know who that is?
A lot of people were saying that a lot of this is
Phil Labonte's up there
to cover up from the massive fraud which was uncovered recently at these various daycare centers. And that's what a lot of these protests
and transportation companies
are now about, is the local governments trying to cover their ass. So the question becomes, you're putting on your tinfoil hat, Ian. Do you think that there's some merit to that? Do you think that a lot of the...
Of course. If you genuinely think that the protests in Minneapolis are completely organic, or even that they are not connected to the fraud case, stupid, you're fucking retarded. Why is it that, like, did I post it? It would have been a while back. Give me a second. It would have been a minute back. But somebody had posted a thing with all of the states and where the whatchamacallit, fucking protests and everything were. Should be right. Okay, yeah.
Earlier video. So I addressed this in an earlier video, but I wanted to be a little more specific. So in that earlier video, I pointed out that most of the ICE arrests that have occurred under Trump.
Oh, before we do that, let's shout out to Dexter for the $2. Welcome. Ted, happy Wednesday. And to you, sir. And of course, you're on vertical, so we'll give you the view of the Overlord. Thank you, and welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. Very, very good. All right, let's get this.
So I addressed this in an earlier video, but I wanted to be a little more specific. So in that earlier video, I pointed out that most of the ICE arrests that have occurred under Trump, they're not happening in Minnesota.
So blue is more, or darker is more, and lighter is less deportations.
Right, like very
people detained specifically.
Little of ICE activity is actually happening up there. This is where most of the ICE arrests are happening. These are your top 20 states.
Texas, Florida, California, Georgia, Arizona, New York, Virginia, New Jersey, Tennessee, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Louisiana, North Carolina, Alabama, Colorado, Maryland, South Carolina, Oklahoma, Utah, Indiana, with all of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The bottom 8 on this list are less than 2%.
With Texas and Florida and California, where collectively it represents about 40% of all ICE arrests, all the way down to 20 here in Indiana, representing 1.4%. That means that all the ICE activity they're complaining about in Minnesota, that's less than 1.3% of everything ICE is doing. Yet that's where all the violence is happening. Guys, this is showing you it's not what ICE is doing, because ICE is doing arrests, lots more arrests in all of these states. And have you heard about any violence in Texas? Have you heard about any ICE violence in Florida or Cali, Georgia, Arizona, New York, Virginia? No, you haven't. It's almost like if the people don't try to fight ICE and attack federal officers, nobody gets hurt.
That's my line. It's almost like...
And you don't have any violence.
Simple, right? It's almost like it's not organic. It's almost like they're doing it on purpose.
Putting on your tinfoil hat, Ian. Do you think that there's some merit to that? Do you think that a lot of this was the local government there involved in this fraud, trying to obfuscate away from it, and successfully, it seems, has changed the national conversation away from the rampant fraud which was going on there?
Wow, dude. Man. Well, it would be premature to say, yes, I think that is true, but Dan, I cannot discount that is possible. I think about it with the Epstein stuff, too. I feel like that's a federal red herring that they want us to all complain and laugh while they're preparing for war in Iran and crashing the U.S. economy and getting us on crypto or gold. Yeah, that's totally possible. I mean, that daycare fraud came, huge story. And then a week later, riots and
right. Well, and George Santos came, and I think he hit it on the head. Like, you would think this is a slam dunk for the Republicans to go after this fraud, but he hit it on the head. He's like, look, this is both parties. Both parties are taking this money. Both parties, you know what I mean? Like, it's across the board. That's why there isn't any action on this. That's why it's been going on for 10 years.
The most exciting part of the Trump administration was Doge, right?
Yes.
And they absolutely nailed it.
Yep.
Wait, but Box, you're not going to fight for your undocumented neighbors?
I know he's been on the show before, but Mike Benz, he's been on a tear here talking about like the EU, right, and their censorship efforts of X. But one of the things he talks about is how the United States, through cutouts like the Atlantic Council and other NGOs, are actually sort of pressuring the European Union to censor X so that it could censor Americans, right? It's the same thing with the rest of these NGOs. That's what they're talking about with the IRS going after. It's like you set up this cutout, right? Then you need a patsy. So you go to these Somalians, it's an insular community. Hey, we'll give you all this money. You keep a chunk of it. Our board keeps a big chunk of it. And it's so funny.
And then they launder it.
Yeah.
Sleeping quietly and peacefully in their homes at the fucking direction of the governor.
So I forget that it's
at their leering center.
Third time's a charm, Glow.
They're leering.
Yeah.
Hey, they leered.
This is a house of leering.
Yes, I'm leering a lot tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of
especially
leerage.
about primates.
Yeah.
But
It is Spanish though, right? Leer is read.
I don't know, man. We speak American.
No
here.
yeah, we
Do
speak
you
American.
usually use like just one word of the Spanish? Though?
Yeah, it's leer and then ing on the end and like the mix. Yeah, all right.
The leering center.
It's so ridiculous, right? Imagine if you're like, let's just say you're, going back to black people upset with the Trump thing. Okay, fine, fair enough, whatever. Imagine if you're black and you live in Minneapolis and you're like, I'd like to start a daycare. I've lived here my whole life. My parents lived here. Their parents lived here. You're struggling, can't make ends meet. You got 5 kids you're trying to watch. Meanwhile, someone comes over from Somalia, barely speaks the language. They're getting millions of dollars and they have no kids at their center.
Yeah.
Right? It is so on its face. Like these NGOs,
they're just industrious and learned all the laws on their own, right?
That do this stuff. It's so laughable. And the woman that was charged, I forget her name, but every time I debate a lefty on this, this is what they do. They're like, oh, well, did you know that the woman who's the case is named of the 71 people, she's a white lady? It's like, yeah, white ladies suck too.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. I'm well aware that there are white Democrats that are setting this all up. And yes, they should go to prison too. But as always, they try to lump it in like, oh, it's just because you hate Somalians. No, it's because I hate the fraud that's coming in. By the way, send all the illegal Somalians back.
Yes, get them out.
Were you suggesting that the NGOs are funding, they just pick a patsy organization, like we'll do Somalians in Minneapolis or Minnesota right now, and then that gives the IRS basically, a right to now go do some new technocratic authoritarian behavior? Was that what you were saying?
I don't think it's new technocratic. Like, I don't think it's any surprise that the IRS has tools and the ability and the want to audit the shit out of people, right? And so when you have an organization that is geared on investigating finances, the idea that we wouldn't use those tools to save billions upon billions of dollars that's being used fraudulently seems to be ridiculous. Now, do I want the IRS to develop new telepathic powers or some shit or whatever, some crazy tech power? Maybe not. But I think utilizing the IRS when there's clearly things that are going wrong. I mean, after all, how'd they get Al Capone? Right? Tax evasion. So the idea, it's like, look, if one of the ways we could get these people is to show that through their fraud that they're supporting these financial institutions, there are problems that showed up on their taxes. I'm all for it.
The IRS isn't going to do shit. They haven't done shit in 10 years out there. The only people they punish are the people that are actually paying into the actual net taxpayers that pay into the system. Those are the people that get punished. That's all they're good at. They're only.
I mean, I don't know the ins and outs, but sounds pretty accurate.
They're only good at going after people that actually are.
Let's take a look at this video. The protesters keeping Waltz awake.
The same gate that he was standing behind saying, you guys should go get killed so that everybody forgets about my fraud. And no, Democrats, he didn't say those exact words, but that's what he meant.
Keeping Waltz awake.
Rapunzel, throw down your support for your voting base.
Come on. You have a lot of lights on. Dinner's got to be done by now. We haven't heard from you in a very long time.
No, imagine a Massey and Ro Khanna ticket. That might go towards healing the country. Might tear everything down, but you never know.
So they're not happy. They're not thrilled. They're upset, right? That there was any sort.
Wait. Whoa.
Happy. They're not thrilled.
Anti-ICE protesters now attempting to keep Minnesota. I assume this was people on the right because it was against walls. Oh, hell Anti-ICE protesters are now attempting to keep Minnesota Governor Tim Walz awake as they've grown unhappy with his cooperation with President Trump and Border Czar Tom Homan. You cannot make these people happy. Stop trying. This is what was being discussed when we talked about the optics and PR and this and that. It doesn't matter what you do. They will go down this road because they already believe that that's what it is. They've already decided that that's where they want to end up. I am stupidly surprised. I should not be surprised, but I indeed am surprised. Wow.
They're upset, right? That there was any sort of working with.
I think he's on the island. I mean, that just seems the easiest fucking thing. Why would he not be on the island? Why would he not be on the island? Give me one good reason. You can, bro. You can.
With the Trump administration, and clearly they're going to continue this.
It's smart. It's smart politics on their side, right? You never want to rest on your laurels, right? So they're going to take it. Perceptually, what you want to do is say, we're winning, but we're not winning enough. We got to go further. No cooperation. I used to say this. You remember when they freaked out when Elon was buying X? You would talk to a lefty, you would debate them, and you'd say, hey, man, 95% of social media is controlled by like rabid lefties. That's so unfair. And they'd be like, we agree, that's unfair. It should be 100%. Right? That's their mentality. Always on offense, always winning. Right? And so I can see why they're doing this here. The one good part of this, like, if you want a little Schadenfreude, look, man, the lefties get the wall too at the end of this, right? And so the idea that someone like Tim Walz isn't going to be, remember when he said, he's like, I don't like that they're coming and they're calling me a retard. I don't like that they're doing that. Like, it's like, yeah, these lefty mobs are going to turn on you. It's not just going to be the right wingers. Ask Kristen Sinema, ask Joe Manchin. Right. And so you got to stay lockstep with them the whole time. So, yeah, well, good for you, Walz. I hope you're not sleeping tonight.
Well, this is not my position, Andrew. But yeah, this was the opposition. This is 100% my position. That they would, disrupt with working with Walz, like they would disrupt the left. And now the left going after Walz is kind of what, the idea of them with the stand down or whatever you want to call it, like to kind of start. That's kind of the idea. Yeah. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, we see this here. Like,
what is this question? I think is he asking why are they upset? Like just because, as Andrew just said, they just didn't get everything they wanted exactly the way they wanted it. Shout out to Maryland. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. God herself.
I think that the idea is exactly what Rob's saying, that they're always going to stay on offense now. You have to understand this campaign for them has worked. This has been a successful campaign for the terrorists, for the Antifa terrorists. This has not been a successful campaign.
One of us. For
the Trump administration. And they're continuing their winning streak. And you can argue that point, I suppose, but these arrests, they're going to get thrown out. We know they're going to get thrown out. We know that this is leading up to more and more and more and more. It's been like this since Trump was elected. As it goes, it's going to get worse and worse. Everyone's geared up for it. Their own internal communications prove it. That's what's going to happen. So they're going to stay on offense here.
Yeah, I agree. And I do think Trump going in with the boot, I think that is the best play, obviously. But yeah.
So let's look at.
We could do a whole stream of this shit. Remember when Hillary did this? It's almost like.
This is Frontline's TPUSA. They're asking an ICE protester his reasoning for being outside of.
Oh, God. All right. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat. If you've already seen this, don't vote. Put a 1 in the chat. We have a 54-second video. 54-second video. Do you think he's going to have a bad reason? Do you think he's going to just have a reason that's like, okay, I mean, fuck, I guess that kind of makes sense if you believe that. Obviously, I don't believe that. Or do you think he's just going to stay silent? I think he's going to stay silent.
Minnesota Governor Walz's house.
What would be your message to Tim Walz right now?
I mean, I just wanted
to. All right, I was wrong there.
Him to come and talk to us. I mean, that's really like, tell us what's going on. At least be a little transparent. We're transparent.
Oh, you mean like pre-Epstein, the Trump administration?
What we're asking for, so I just think he should be transparent back.
And do you feel as if Tim Walz has completely went against the left and the people that got him elected in the first place?
That's what it seems like right now. And I mean, but again, we don't know. I think we're just speculating.
Why? Why though? Why?
But it'd be nice to hear from him because it appears that way.
He literally was standing there 3 days ago. What else do you want to hear?
Having ICE show up to the government center and arrest 2 people that were meeting with their attorneys yesterday is a complete.
Were they illegal? Okay, then what else do you want to do?
Escalation, in my opinion.
And in your opinion, what can he do to mend what has been broken right now?
Sweet summer child.
Make things right.
He's the good one. He's the good one. All the other politicians are bad. But the one I like is a good one. Okay, bro.
For me, I know. For me personally, it would just be transparent. Either way, be transparent with us. I think that's what I look for.
Is there any shock that he's
now
gay?
this is such an effective tactic.
Tim Dillon?
The tactic here being that if in any way, shape, or form you're not doing what this lunatic base that you have molded for yourself wants, they're going to turn against you, which gives every incentive for those particular politicians to enact their insane agenda. And this is exactly what we're supposed to be doing on our side with the Trump administration, saying the exact same thing that they're saying. Hey, wake up, Trump. Get them down there. Let's get some arrests moving. You call them domestic terrorists. You have allocated resources to Antifa being a domestic terrorist group. Where's the arrests?
Yeah.
Why are we rounding these terrorists?
Do it
up?
I hope it's because they're going after the money. I hope that's why, and that they don't want to create ill will, bad optics, another riot in the street because they arrested 19 foot soldiers that didn't know what. And they're really, I hope that they're really going through records and chat rooms and looking for funding.
I'm telling you, when you say weak on Trump, do you mean like just going along with whatever Trump says, or weak in supporting Trump? Sweet summer box. Summer is coming.
You live stream it?
Sounds like very wishful thinking to me.
If you live stream it, it'd be the biggest show, man. If you just saw these people getting arrested and deported, oh my god,
be like cops, man. Yeah, that's just,
yeah.
Good days. They'd be all like truckers and
exactly.
Do you remember our friend from Main First Project, Zach Gilpy?
Yeah,
I was talking to him on the phone the other day, and he's sort of talking about behind
who the fuck talks on the phone anymore?
Behind the scenes, trying to whip up organization or Republicans for causes, and he's telling me this story once. He's like, Democrats in this particular area, I can't remember because I have a bad memory, but he's like, they primaried this dude that voted 95% of what this organization wanted. And the dude getting primaried is like, why are you doing that? I vote 95% with you. And they're like, because you don't vote 100. That's their mentality. It's like, no, we don't care. The person that's doing 95% of what we like, that's where we're going to put the most pressure. Because
put it together. Just like, oh my God, like box. Yup. Shout out to Edge of the South. Welcome. Costco said, I think the anti-ICE protesters are destroying their cause because they have the inability to act like normal people. They're like zombies, and the more normies at Target see them, they become MAGA. Bingo. Yep. But somehow, it's still growing. Somehow this is true, but also the protests, the anger is growing. Make it make sense.
We know that's a person that's willing to listen to us.
And we can get them to do 100%.
That's right. And so that's what's going on here. They know that at this point, Walz is absolutely beholden to them.
Yep.
And so if he doesn't toe the line, a bit of capitulation on their part, they're going to say his weakness. So we need to go further. Meanwhile, on our side, and I know you deal with this, Andrew, how many times do you have people on our own side saying, well, you can't criticize Trump. You can't criticize the Republicans because we all need to coalesce. I agree in the importance of coalescing, but we have a unique opportunity.
It matters what we are coalescing. It matters around what we are coalescing. You don't understand in a preposition. But I completely agree with Rob here that like there's no point in coalescing if what we're actually coalescing around is something that's not good. And there can be people coalescing around an idea and still acknowledging the issues with that idea or that candidate or whatever the case may be. Like even take it out of politics. You know, you can talk about your favorite band, and it's like if you don't like one song that they wrote, then you must hate them. Like, no, I just don't like this song. But we've got sycophants and dogma.
To tell the people we elect, this is why you should carry out the promises that you claimed when you ran. So it's effective for the Democrats. They do it all the time.
Yeah, totally agree. There's another story here about a dog casting its ballot. It's pretty interesting.
Morty, you can vote. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up, brother.
This coming in from Shiloh Marks, California resident Laura Yorix self-reported that she had registered her dog to vote and had in fact cast a mail-in ballot on behalf of her dog. She did this to expose the corrupt election system.
So, Box, you're saying that when that dog registered, it had a legitimate ID. Is that what you're saying? Because before you said you cannot vote without an ID. So you are claiming that let's just say if this is true, then you are claiming that a dog had an ID and should have been allowed to vote. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
And she was brilliant for this. Her dog voted Republican, by the way. Yeah, of course. Well, a smart dog. Yeah. Here's your evidence. Elections are not secure and voter fraud is real. Now, I can't wait to hear the COPE on this, but so how about that ID now, Ian?
Oh, I love voter ID.
How about that ID now?
I think people should have like a license or whatever.
There we go. We got Ian. Box, we got you too. Sometimes you don't have to rally around a certain ideal or be for something. You could rally against something, like the modern day Democrat, Socialist, Nazi Party of America. Dilly. Oh yeah, I forgot you birdies. How many people we got over there? Should I worry about your viewing experience? We got 60 over there. Shout out to the vertical stream. Remember, guys, if you are on the vertical stream and you don't want to be on the vertical stream, we also have the landscape stream. I will always pin the link to the regular landscape stream in the chat of the vertical stream. So whichever one you like. What we're doing here. Okay. Wait, okay, so we're taking on the registry and not require oh my god.
They're just an ID, passport. I don't like digital. I tend to want to avoid digital databases because they're so easy to scrape, but ID for sure.
I actually trust Twitter polls more than the elections. Like, I'm not even joking on that. Like, I've been to these recounts. Remember when Trump did the recounts in Milwaukee and stuff? And I sat there and I watched the people going through and doing the votes and counting the votes. It's a nightmare. Like, I talked to the staff. The staff was like, oh, we had no training. These are people that are literally day laborers. They were hired for that day only. They come in there like, we have no training. We have no idea what we're doing. They sit them down in these booths where you can like watch them doing what they're doing. Like, so it was a joke.
Now, here's the twist. Costa Mesa woman charged with 5 felonies for illegally registering her dog to vote, casting mail-in ballots sent to dog into elections. Costa Mesa woman has been charged with 5 felonies for illegally registering her dog to vote. In the 2021 California gubernatorial recall election and the 2022 primary election, the dog's vote was successfully counted in 2021, but was rejected in the 2022 primary. Laura Lee.
So the question is, would that have happened if it wasn't publicized?
E. Urich, 62 of Costa Mesa, has been charged with 1 felony count of perjury, 1 felony count of procuring or offering a false or forged document to be filed, 2 felony counts of casting a ballot when not entitled to vote, and 1 felony count of registering a non-existent person to vote. Urich is scheduled to be arraigned at the Stephen K. Tamura West Justice Center in Westminster, September 9th of 2025 in Department. Okay, gotcha. So walk me through this, Rob. The dogs can vote, but isn't this the system working?
This is Jim Crow 2.0.
Yeah.
That's what this is. Now we're taking away dogs' rights to vote? Absolutely outrageous. You know? Yeah, I mean, of course they'll throw the book at this lady. You know, what was the woman? I forget what state it was, but they threw the book at her for like trying to get the proof of the ballots. They're like, oh, you can't do that. The left.
Yeah, that was a big mistake in the culture jamming, because if that was another vote for the Democrats, might completely turn the whole thing around. I don't know, but question stands.
Is intentionally making elections inauditable. And there's only one reason to do that, because you want the cheating. That's why they don't want the ID. That's why they, whoopsie, we lost the ballots. Oops, we lost the video. Remember how they were supposed to, like in all these states legally, when they started to do the mail-in ballots, and you had these drop boxes, you legally had to have like cameras watching. Whoops, all the camera footage, so much of it disappeared. You know, here, okay, they caught one lady, right? Because probably, you know, she voted Republican. If it was a left-winger, they'd have been like, forget about that, put that to the side. But yeah.
Well, I do want to know, was it publicized before, like, did they catch it without it being publicized, or did they catch it because she was like, hey, look what I did?
That's a joke. And, you know, it just goes to show. The truth is, I want to
follow up on this, do you know?
Yeah, she have a good.
I want to see this woman get a pardon.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see what happened.
How dare you? You are racist, sir. Don't you know black people cannot get IDs?
That's true.
In order for them to vote.
Is that the dog?
Is it? No, I doubt it.
Brown? Now we're keeping Brown.
Hazel will be voting.
Come on now.
Oh, the Democrats. I mean, that's the craziest explanation ever. It's like, oh, black people
can't get IDs. I bet if it was a pit bull, it could vote. Okay, guys, we're going to. It's time to go through super chats and Rumble rants. First, smash the like button. Subscribe to the page. Join us at Timcast.
Guys, thank you. So, look what we got here. Did our boy save the show? Bucks out sponsoring himself. Let's get Morty his treat. Come on. Mort, eat it. Get it. Oh, you motherfucker. Here, bitch. Here, bitch. Eat it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Yeah, get it. Get it. There you go. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Said, if you tighten up voter registry and ignore the ID, you still catch fraud now faster more than ever. ID is not security. It might introduce more fraud. How so? I don't disagree with tightening up the registry. Box is back. Noel. But how would it introduce more fraud? I have not heard that argument. But since Box drops a 5, then we'll check out some of the super chats and Robo Rants.
To join from Super Poopers, says U.S. Marine vet, I'm ready to do TOS violations to our commies, but I know it doesn't help with optics. So what can I do? Only traitors help invaders. I tend to agree with you that only traitors help invaders, but let's not do the TOS violations.
Well, no, that we can't do that. No, but you can legally go in with the boot. And when we say the boot, we're not saying offing people. We're talking about the boot to go in and legally get these people off the streets. And
yeah, so Box, before when you're saying like roll over and lick the boot, it's like, well, what do you, that phrase is meant for when they're doing something that you don't want them to do.
Make sure that they're not destroying businesses and houses.
In the 50s, during the McCarthy era, where it was like getting rid of communists, basically, were they violent? Were there communists attacking people in the streets? Did the government go in and crack down and drag people off? I don't remember ever hearing about that stuff. I just know that communist scare was handled in the 50s.
Yeah, well, it turns out that McCarthy was largely right. As far as the idea, I'm not a good reader of that era, so I'm not sure.
Welcome to the party. Very good to say something. See ya. And then I read, there's nothing, and my mind mixed it up with something. Welcome to the party, Doom Shop. Then Liberty said there's nothing immoral about cheating a rigged system. I'll take, in general, I'll agree. I'm sure I could find an example if I was being a dick about it, but agree.
Sure, if there were people rioting, but certainly with the Weather Underground and stuff you saw into the 70s was absolutely
Vietnam.
Yeah, it
with
was
the bombings.
Well, let's try to power through some of these. This one comes in from DSage29. So shout out to Rob's video on Brian Shapiro. 16-minute
18 and a half.
Yeah, 18 and a half minute rant.
Did you guys debate?
Pure lunacy.
Well, he called into my show.
It a debate.
And he ran.
I mean, they debated
for 18 and a half minutes about how he's respected and how great he is. And I'm just a nobody.
He's also friends with Jack.
Isn't he, though? Only one of you's on Timcast.
Prosovic, apparently, and all the big famous Republicans.
Michael Knowles, they'll love him.
Michael Knowles loves him. He's a big deal. Just all you got to do is ask him.
Show? I don't know if you knew that.
Is it syndicated?
I've heard it's syndicated.
Yeah, I've heard it's syndicated too.
Reno 911?
Yeah.
He also asked to see my penis.
He did. It's true. Yeah. XD Law says, hey, Andrew, just showing some love from your hometown. Keep up the good work. And just know we are all not lost out here. Yes, I'm aware of that.
Including the atheists wait. I'm not even going to call you out. But, yes, again, my grandmother died this evening. And I put up a post. And I said my mom's mom passed away. Because I didn't want a bajillion comments of your mom's mom or your dad's mom. And somebody with atheist in their name was like, oh, you mean like your grandma? Isn't that what it's called? And we wonder why atheist has so much baggage. So you've won one step. I'm no longer an atheist. I'm an agnostic non-theist. Just like the normal-ish women who tried to make feminism just, equality, egalitarianism under the law, all that kind of stuff. They lost that battle. Feminism is what feminism is, and I seem to have lost my own battle, and atheism is what it is. So, thanks, Grandma. So I'll say this now since they're talking about this. She was very, very religious, more religious than even my parents. Well, my mom really. My dad believes, but he's not like that deep into it. It's a part of his life, but. And you know, I was like, okay, well, this is definitely a moment, right? You know, I was not that close with her. You know, my whole mom's side of the family lives in Florida, so the amount of time that I've spent with those, like just in general, whether it's my grandma, my grandpa, or cousins, or all that stuff, just not that much. And you know, we're not like around each other, so they all have. Anyway, point being, it was not something where, you know, I felt like I need to sit down and cry. You know, I've been able to do a relatively normal show and whatever, because it's just as sad, of course, as it is, as much as I feel for my family as a whole. You know what I mean? And I just felt like that was of course the atheists would say that. I didn't call you out, so you named yourself. Why would you think that? Why? Let's you guys tell me. You guys tell me. So maybe I'm overreacting. So I said, my mom's mom just passed away. My parents are at our concert, so you know before they do. My parents are very much Christian, so while I don't believe in prayer, they definitely do. So if you do too, I know they would appreciate the prayers coming home from such a fun night to some of the worst news you can hear. Life is a bitch. Couldn't have kept it to yourself. Needed to add the laughing emoji. And it's not like I think you were purposely trying to be a dick. It's the lack of deference for anything that anything is a joke. And it's not. So I don't want to be known as one of these people anymore. Because it usually is inadvertent. Just like when the fucking Christians are like, oh, you just gotta try harder. Blah, 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 blah. Just because that's fucking, just because you're coming from a good place doesn't mean it's not fucking obnoxious. So, it's true. So, non-theist. But, oh yeah, I didn't tell the story. So, I was like, this is a good moment. People don't really get this type of moment for people who are in my position. And so I don't know if you would call it praying. Maybe you would, but I genuinely said, okay, Grandma, you know, I do believe that a lot of reason why we weren't necessarily as close as we could be has a lot to do with the fact that a lot of the family is very religious and I'm not. And I wasn't, you know, I wasn't part of that. And so, you know, whatever. And so I just called out to her, if there is a place where you are and there is something about truth that I'm wrong about, I genuinely want the sign, not so that I can cheat at life or any, because I genuinely want to know the truth. So we'll see.
Awesome. This one comes in from Force Name Change. Smart cast tonight. You're absolutely.
You didn't think that I would have a problem with you laughing about my grandma dying? How dare I be so sensitive? What a little bitch. What a little bitch I am. And again, I know that it has nothing to do with atheism. It's just the overlapping every single time there's some fucking bullshit. It's a leftist atheist. And so when this happens and you see atheist in your name, whether you're a leftist or not, then everybody thinks all of that awful stuff about all of those awful people about me. So yes, I am sensitive to that. Sorry.
You're right. Law needs to crack the whip before something serious occurs, making the left's claim of fascism seem plausible. Act, don't react, or the right keeps losing. I actually agree with this chat.
Okay, so maybe a post about my grandma dying is not the time to be smirking about wording.
Great.
I think
that's
he's
great. Ian, I know. That's why we.
I know that sometimes I feel like you guys know this, but maybe I need to like articulate it directly to you. I know that you only know me in this context, but I am a real person. Like it's not AI. Like my life still happens when I'm not here. I'm not just a dancing monkey. I'm a real person. In case you didn't know. Oops, that's why we listen. That's why we listen. That's why we listen. The whole point is that neither of us are leftists, but both of us are known as atheists, and that fucking sucks. And I don't want to do it anymore.
Have you on the show?
I don't want to fall into their trap.
We like to have someone that's wrong on the show, so we can say, okay.
Oh, I know.
You know.
I don't know if it was because of religion, but if there was more, well, but we're done with that. If there was that underpinning, then I feel like that would have been inherently a reason why, you know, when we take our trips to Florida to go see them, then there's a little bit more there. And I mean, what you want me to do, bro? I got all the necessary conditions to be a real person. Yeah, I don't know. It's because of religion. I'm putting that forth as, yeah, it's not because we had different religious beliefs. We could not be, we could not have a relationship. I'm just saying, I think that part of the reason that there was a lack of connective tissue is because religion was such a big part of the family for all of us until I, you know, left. And then even before that, it's not like I was getting calls and like, hey, how are you doing? Hey, how's the podcast? Hey, how's your band going? Hey, how's your girlfriend? Hey, how's this? How's your dog? And so I'm just like, yeah, me too. No, I'm just kidding. And so like, I don't know. It's a very interesting position because this is a common place where, you know, people who don't necessarily have religious or have religion, we'll say, when they lose somebody, that's a common thing to revert to when you feel that you need that. And you know, I called out to the universe, to whatever's out there. Again, if God exists, I don't know what would prove it, but he certainly does. And now if my grandma's there, like, yo, let this dude know. Let him in. He's been trying. He's for real. I promise. Flamingo Chad, so would you consider someone who's spiritual and doesn't attend church to be an atheist? I consider anybody who doesn't hold a God belief to be an atheist, but the title is what I'm specifically having an issue with. But so if they don't attend church and they have a spiritual life, and that's fulfilling them, but they don't believe in a theistic God, then by definition, they are an atheist. All right. I appreciate the apology. I told you I might need some grace on this this stream. So I appreciate the apology. The guy who impregnated oh, damn, I'm already full screen. You're not on the thing, right? God damn it. I was going to go from here. Like, oh, you mean your dad? What if I said, oh, you mean your brother? Like, not right. I didn't mean to hit the racist one. All right, let's see what one more of these is.
So I'm not your buddy guy, says he.
I'm not your buddy guy. I'm not your friend.
Seeing how far gone France and Britain are, along with everything the left has done across the West, do you think Western civilization still has a chance, Rob?
Bucks, don't forget, you have to give a tattoo design. We're almost done.
Yeah, of course. Don't get blackpilled, right? The truth is, like,
Comment of the night. We're all atheists on stolen land. Oh, that's worth a screenshot. That is hilarious. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, come on. This thing takes forever. Bet. All right. Oh boy. Bog said, I despise God, even if he does exist. That's what makes me an atheist. I ain't no fence sitter. And so yet again, the implication here is that the what's the noun of despise? The disposition? What the despising of God when you're talking like this seems like those are the two main things. Like, oh, I'm a real atheist because I actively believe or I hate God. When that's exactly the type of shit that I don't want to associate with. I don't hate things that don't exist, and I don't want to be a part of. Yeah, no, I got you. But no, I definitely got you. But that's the thing. Fair enough. I also think that if Yahweh does exist, he's fucking asshole. But that rhetoric doesn't help me find the truth or find the people who are interested in truth and so on and so forth. So from now on, the agnostic non-theist. Sounds like a fucking Teflon non-stick pan, but you know. All right, guys. I think that is it for me tonight. Box, I need your idea, brother. I need your tattoo idea right now. What do you think? No, for right now, you get a whole suggestion. And then we're going to put all the suggestions in a poll for you guys now to vote. And whichever wins the stream poll replaces the Sisyphus. So right now I need you to suggest any kind of tattoo that you think would be funny for me to have somewhere around here. As a sponsor of the stream, you get a choice. That's going in the poll. But if you don't choose, I'm just going to go with whichever one I like from the suggestions. So again, we got Mecha JD Vance, we got Muscle Beach Ron Paul, and Epstein. So far, so we need the third idea. Oh, and we got a fourth. Shout out to NSL. Said a different kind of Indian Jesus. That's funny. That's funny. Like, eat it, motherfucker! Eat it, motherfucker! There you go. So like the Native American, Jesus on me. There we go. So okay. So I want dilly tap, but not with Trump. I want the beer cheer emoji behind it. All right. So. Is Guamsek, are you still here? So, all right. We got to do two polls then. So we're going to start with the paid ones, and we'll see which makes it on. And then the, yeah, I got you. So I'll do the four that were, the four other ones, and then we'll do a 1v1 on the one that wins this poll and this. So, what would be the best / funniest / I don't know, offensive / etc. tattoo design? So we've got the Mecha JD Vance, which if you're not an anime person like I am also not, means like a robotic, like he's in a robot suit essentially. So we've got Mecha JD Vance, and he's a fat guy. We've got, I'm gonna put I'm just gonna put Epstein. I'm gonna spell it like that. Then we've got the. Wait a minute. What did I miss? What did I miss? I can't count. Native American Jesus. What did I miss? Oh, Muscle Beach, Ron Paul. Muscle Beach. M-U-S-C-L-E. Beach, Ron Paul. So stick around. And if you're over on the, fuck, where is it? God damn it. If you're over on the vertical stream, I'm going to drop the link. Box, you don't have to pay for it. Oh, wait, you give the other one, right? Okay, so now you're getting two. Fair enough. Cool. Me. Where's me? Live. We are live right now. So, Verdes, I'm dropping the link. It is pinned, but I am dropping the link so you can come vote too. But you have to be on the right stream. So then, Box said, Alice in Wonderland smoking caterpillar. Interesting. Again, not too sure what more. You're doing the hunger dance. We already got it. Come. Fuck you. There you go. He's eating it. All right. So we'll put those two up against these other two. All right. Native American Jesus is leading the poll, guys. Leading the poll. We got 10 people here, so I need at least 8 votes. So again, whichever wins this is going up against Box's idea of... Fuck, what did I miss? Oh, there we go. Okay. So whatever wins this poll is going up against the regular Dilly Dilly tattoo with no Trump or the Alice in Wonderland smoking caterpillar. So 8 votes. I'll give it another minute and we'll see. Get your fucking votes in. Rob Paul or Ron Paul? What is his name? I don't even know what the fuck that is. What even is that? All right. Going 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And boom. So Native American Jesus wins. So wait. I like Ron. What's wrong with Ron? What's wrong with Ron? So we have, okay, final design for the final poll. So again, this poll is to determine which design is replacing the other design, or the Sisyphus tattoo. So the other 3 designs that were already up there. So Trump Dilly Dilly is already going to be up there. Hillary with a dick is already going to be up there. Trump as a Hindu god is already going to be up there. What you guys are choosing is going to be the 4th option. So we had Alice in Wonderland caterpillar. Is that going to fit? Caterpillar. Yep. And Dilly Dilly. No Trump with cheers. Oh, I don't know where the fucking thing. I'm just gonna put Dilly Dilly with cheers. Oh my god, I can't fucking spell. Cheers emoji. And what was the winner? I don't even remember. Native American Jesus. Native American Jesus. All right. Whatever you guys pick goes on one more poll that's going to be on the community tab. And yeah, so again, that all those are still there. So the Dilly Dilly with Trump as a Hindu god, and Hillary with a dick are already in the final poll. This is what we are choosing as the 4th option on the final poll, whichever wins that poll. There is no other deciding or choices or anything. It's just whatever that is. We're going with it. Oh, we're tied. Dilly Dilly and Native American Jesus are tied right now. Let's make it a little more exciting. That's the point. That's the punishment, that I voted for this bitch, and I should have known better, and I didn't. All right, well, yeah, we got, so I'm waiting for 8. Yeah. All right, I'll pull up the other ones. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't want to do that, because that was the mistake I made last time, is putting the pictures there. I don't want you guys to go based on the picture, because the picture is just there. The picture was just there for the general idea. And so we'll see. I mean, I like the one I like. But just for one, now that most of you have got the fucking where the fuck is it? Yeah, so again, this one is staying. This one is being replaced by whatever wins this poll. Again, Dilly Dilly and Native American Jesus are tied. Trump as a Hindu god is staying, and Hillary with a dick. Again, we are not going off the picture. The new poll will not have pictures, because I don't want that to mess with your thoughts. Oh, sorry. God damn it. Okay. Yeah, so Dilly Dilly with Trump is staying. Sisyphus is being replaced. Trump as a Hindu god is staying. Hillary has a dick is staying. We are replacing one, and whichever you guys pick, that is what I'm getting. But again, not going based off of the pictures that I put there. It's going to be based off how I talk to the artist, and it's going either right here in this kind of space, or over here in this kind of space. Guys, we're tied. Come on, we need one. Alice is out. It looks like Alice is out. We need one vote for, Dilly Dilly with cheers. All right, we're going to give it a full minute. I'll wait till the top of the minute. So we got 10 seconds, and then we got 1 minute, and then the poll is over. The poll is over. 2, 1. So you've got 1 minute left. 1 minute left. Yeah, this is the Boulder guy. And I honestly didn't expect anybody to pick that, because it's like, what does that have to do with us? Like, it's supposed to be our thing. And then if it's just like the basic one, then like you'll just see a thing like, this doesn't mean anything to you. This doesn't mean anything to you. This doesn't mean anything to you. They're just my tattoos. The whole point is to be like, oh, I recognize that. And then in 10 years, when nobody really knows what's good about the lore, you guys will know that you were here for the OG. 10 seconds, guys. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dilly with cheers. Interesting. So we have 2 Dilly ideas. We have 2 Dilly Dillies. We have a Trump as Hindu god, and we have Hillary. So I'm gonna make that poll when I go upstairs. I will post it probably. What day is it? It is Wednesday, right? So I'll repost, and then I'll remind you guys on Friday's stream, so that in case whatever you get to remember, then at the end of Friday's stream, we'll look, and whatever is the winner is going on my body. A little Dilly Dilly is good for the nerves, right? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This is the one I wanted. I either wanted the Hindu god, Trump Hindu god, or I wanted Trump Dilly Dilly. Those, I think, so yeah, we could do that for either one. But I don't know. Like, I feel like the Trump hair really makes it us, and then it gives it a time period that shows. Like in 50 years, I don't know. It makes a lot of sense, but remember that I don't know how we don't have a lot of space, so it's not going to be a lot of detail. So if we do something like this, it's probably going to need to be very cartoonish. That's the fucking point. I don't think you guys get what we're doing here. Oy vey. The irony is that when I saw that Sisyphus was winning, like my tattoos, I never get tattoos with meaning aside from my Akon tattoo and aside from my Morty tattoo. I never, they're all forever tattoos, baby. They're all forever tattoos. I have a giant tie-dye smiley face with his tongue sticking out and an acid tab on his tongue on the back of my thigh. It's literally that big. Okay, I'm way beyond like, oh no, that tattoo. Yeah, we're way beyond that. We're way beyond that. Oh my goodness. Trump has 3 more years to start a nuclear war. Well, wouldn't that make the fucking tattoo that much funnier? I'm very surprised. I feel like you guys care more about the effects of the tattoo than I do, which is what I did not expect. And so when I saw that the Sisyphus tattoo was winning, again, I just put it up there because Adam was vying for some kind of more control because he was at the second membership level, and I shouldn't have capitulated. But I was like, okay, yeah, you just get one of the spots. Thinking nobody would want that fucking squiggle bullshit. That has nothing to do with anything. That's not easily recognizable as anything. It's just a thing. But I was down. If you didn't cry, it would have potentially already been on me. But yeah, I mean, I think that would make it funnier. But either way, big shout out to Box, our sponsor. Let's look at what else we got. We started off with the Viewerski. We had Warehouse Junkie with a dilly dilly. Hector came in with the $1 make you holla. And then Box just letting it rain. We got our tattoo ideas. Thank you, Guam Tech. Thank you, Blueberry Street. I still think that this should have gotten more of the poll, but hey, that's what happens when you put your fate in other people's hands. And of course, we had Warehouse again. The big tenor. Shout out to the IRS. And he did get his tattoo, dilly with the cheers, as part of the final poll. Shout out to Dexter. Thank you so very, very much. We had Edge of the South with the big 5. Thank you. And Box again. And again. Thank you, guys, so very, very much. Oh, my goodness. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you being here, especially since I know that you could be doing anything else in the world. We just had a huge Epstein Files drop, and everybody's talking about it. And, again, this channel right here is not a news channel. I'm not here to report the news to you. So when there's more discussion about that, we will definitely be talking about it. But for now, wanted to give a big shout out to Rob Noerr for getting on to Timcast. Even if Tim wasn't there, that clearly you're getting back. Clearly he did a good job. So shout out to Rob. And shout out to all of you guys. Thank you. So very, very much. Once again, guys, unfortunately, we were too close, but we did not hit the goal. Once again, that is Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, a.k.a. the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. Peace.